How about now? We got it now, guys? When they reset stupid Windows, man. They with all the updates, they reset everything. Matthew says, got it now? Okay. So that means I have to set this for now all the cameras, so I'm going to play the music one more time.
Oh.
Yeah, because I have to go redo it also. One more time. Hang in there with us, guys.
So we had a power outage down here, and everything went down. Robert Pena, what's up, man? We had all kinds of issues, but we're getting it back now. And we really like this song, so we want to hear it again.
Oh, yeah.
Chronicles of the Black Hole. Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle. Michelle's been a minute since Michelle was in there. Where you been?
I like that Swaggy J, all those colors. Yeah. Ron the Materator. Here we go, Ron. Number 1.
Okay, I think we're up and running now. Okay, let us know, chat room. You got me and Uncle Mosh both? I think we're good. All right, let's go ahead and kick off this episode. Number 245 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate everybody jumping in.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, collecting top, a leaping top, touchdown!
We miss you. We love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, high running down. Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio, hosted by Murf, Uncle Mosh, and Swag Jeff. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brent Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Appreciate you jumping in and joining us here in Murph's Fan Cave for this little show we do called Raiders Fan Radio. This is episode number 245 of Raiders Fan Radio, and we appreciate you, as always, for checking us out. Appreciate everybody that is joining us live in the chat room. Appreciate Robert Pena, Paul Edgerton, Matthew Mangus, Kill Jadis is in there, Ron the Materator holding it down, Big Bass Raider. Big Bass, haven't seen you in a minute. Foxy Scorpio is in there. Paul, Swaggo's best friend, and you know, she's my bestie too, man. Michelle Sweat is in there. Don't tell Swag Jeff I said that though. But yeah, man. So I appreciate everybody that's joined us live in the chat room. You can find us each and every week on the YouTubes, and you can jump in and join the amazing community that we have that joins us in that chat room each and every week at 4 Pacific and 7 Eastern. That is youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Also appreciate everybody that is joining us via the audio podcast. You can find us on any podcast service by searching for Raiders Fan Radio in whatever service that is. And then you can also listen to us on the Just Blog Baby website. And we are part of the Fan-Sided Podcast Network and very, very proud to be members of that team. All right, so we are one shy in the booth tonight, but we're kind of going old school, man. We're kind of rolling back the clock, back to the old days when we first started this iteration of Raiders Fan Radio. And it is myself. I'm your host, your buddy Murf. And I would like to welcome the man that adorns the Western Annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, the legendary, the one and only Uncle Mosh.
Hi, Murf.
Uncle Mosh.
All right, I'm glad to be here. I was told I was a little out of control last week.
So you're swinging a pendulum the other way now?
I'm just wanted to say that she was a fat bitch. What can I say?
Jeez.
Sorry. I'm sorry. but I got to call it like I see it. Anyway, hey, man, it is so good to be here. Happy 420. Woo!
I thought I smelled incense burning.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, my gosh.
No, I did not kill Swag. Swaggy
just
is
swaggered
home.
it up.
Swaggy is doing what he does best, and he's being a good daddy, and
That's
he's taking
right.
care of business. And
That's right.
But he's in the chat, so everybody can just send him a message. But he's home with the babes.
That's it.
And his oldest daughter, you can't see it. She sent me an Easter card. It's right behind me, and I've got it proudly displayed. It's in the back there. But no, man, I'm fired up. It's like you said, it's old school, and we got a really exciting night tonight. But I don't want to steal your thunder, so take it away, Murf.
All right. Well, we have a lot to get to tonight, and we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. We got a special giveaway. We're gonna get to that in a minute when we get to the respect segment. But we're gonna do a couple of giveaways tonight. We're gonna generate some money tonight. That's what we love to do around here, is do a little bit of fundraising, and we're gonna do it for a new good friend of the show. And anyways, I'll get to that in a second. But before we get to any of that, my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff, always takes our episode number and ties it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And being that Swaggo is at home taking care of the kiddos tonight, he was unable to be here to tell us what the significance of the 245 was, but he did call it in. So let's check in with Swag and hear about episode number 245.
What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Swag Jeff coming at you with episode number 245 of Raiders Fan Radio. And I got a little help on this one. So the assistant general manager to the episode number, Tom, or Thom, as I like to say, he helped me out with this one. And it was funny because him and I came up with the same one. We're both going back to the 1997 season, and we're going to be highlighting first-year Raider number 3, Jeff George. So the Raiders went 4-12 that season, so they could get Charles Woodson as the 4th overall pick in the following season. So thanks, Jeff George. In 1997, George threw for 3,917 yards and 29 touchdowns, showing everybody that stats aren't everything. Jeff George averaged 245 yards through the air per game. Thank you very much, Jeff George. Have a great show.
Nice job, Swaggo. Good job on that 245. Yeah, so my favorite story, Uncle Mosh, about Jeff George was that not only was that one of the first big signings that Gruden did when Gruden came in, he was so happy to have Jeff George in house on. But so Jeff George, formerly of the Atlanta Falcons, right?
Right.
Who used to play in the Georgia Dome, right? Well, they had this big falling out. If you guys remember, Jeff George and then head coach of the Falcons, June Jones, got into huge heated arguments on the sidelines where they were at each other's throat. So he left on this very this contentious thing when he left the Falcons. So anyway, so he comes to the Raiders. The Raiders play on the road in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
On, as Jeff says, a 4-12 season. This is not a good year for the Raiders.
Right.
But we beat the Falcons as one of those 4 wins. And freaking Captain Humility, Jeff George, takes a victory lap around the Georgia Dome, yelling at the fans, "This is now the George Dome. It's the George Dome." I remember thinking, this idiot. Thanks for 4 wins, Jeff. But yeah, a guy had a rocket arm. Too bad he was a dick.
Oh my gosh! Hey, so let me just say something really quick. Okay, so here on Raiders Fan Radio, we like to take a little libation, a little adult beverage here and there, and you do what you have to do. We do what we have to do.
Salute.
Okay, so it's April 20th. Everybody, R 420. Some people celebrate April 20th every day.
Yeah.
But anyway, and there's as a former teacher, there's a lot of bad connotations that go along with that, with the anniversary of the Columbine massacre and Adolf Hitler's birthday and all that stuff. But I do.
Oh Lord, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I want to bring it back to sports.
Oh, nice,
This
Mosh.
day,
I love it. Do it.
1986, Michael Jordan, the GOAT, put up 63 points in a playoff game.
Oh, nicely done, Mosh. Give yourself some applause for that.
Yeah. So I just, there's so much bad that goes around it and all that. But I just,
and I'm glad you said that. Jordan is the GOAT. It's not LeBron.
In my world, he'll always be the GOAT. You know,
yeah.
I mean, and there was, you know, my brother would have disagreed. My brother he was a big Larry Bird guy,
right.
and Sonny, I think, was Magic, and you know, and there was a lot in Kobe in there, but. Man, for me, it'll always be Jordan.
It's Jordan, man.
It's always Jordan.
Freaking Jordan. And you know what's funny is that I heard the other day we were talking about how hard it is to like root for certain players that play on your team, right? And I said LeBron, and you know what? Sure enough, LeBron came out and said he wants to play for the Warriors. I'm like, no! Oh, talk about a ring chaser. That would be great. I mean, that's the A's, Raiders, Warriors. Those are my teams, and I'll root for him because it's the Warriors.
But you know what? If somebody bought that guy a pair of skates and he went out for the Sharks, I wouldn't root for him.
It's hard, man.
Sorry.
It's hard. Like, that's going to be a tough one. I mean, it was bad enough with KD when they freaking brought him in to buy a championship, but like, do that with LeBron? Like, come on, man. We don't need him. We don't need him. All right, let's go Warriors. All right, let's go. I'll be wearing my Bay shirt next week. All right, let's get to the we've already did the Swags audio. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room. Robert Pena's in there. Kill Jadis is in there. Cool Kev. Ty the Raider. We're going to see Ty here in just a little bit in Vegas. Cool Kev. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. We're going to see him in Vegas also. Big Bass Raider. Crew Joe. Kill Jadis. Paul. Daniel. The Mangus boys are in there. Lee B is in there. So many of our good friends. We appreciate you all so very, very much. Foxy Scorpio is in there. So let's go ahead and jump into this episode. But before we do, let's check in with Uncle Mosh, and here's some contact info.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation. You got old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346. Or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me?
Hey,
email me. show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. The Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio. Insta something. Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. The tiki-tiki-taki-talk. TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot. Here it comes, boys and girls.
All right.
Get ready. Say it with us. Good.
Oh, I was a little late. All right, there. We appreciate you, all of you that are checking in with us tonight. Everybody on the audio, everybody on the video podcast. For those of you that are on the video podcast, I just threw a link into our chat. There's a GoFundMe link in there, and I'm going to tell you why we're doing that tonight. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we do a little bit of fundraising around here, and all of our fundraising goes through our foundation, which is the One Nation Foundation. That's a nonprofit organization we formed around here once we learned that we could raise money with this show. And thankfully, we're blessed in the way that we don't depend on the money for our show. Nothing wrong with the people that do and podcast and make money for themselves. We don't begrudge you for that one single bit. But for us three, when we just found out we can make money, we decided we were going to give it all away, and we were going to give it away to Raiders related charities. And so we do that via our foundation, our nonprofit, which is the One Nation Foundation.
So I wanted to tell you this. I had, everybody knows I was a teacher for 30 years.
Yes, sir.
And I had a real hard time when people would ask me for money. Not that I'm cheap, because Lord knows, as a teacher and a lifelong coach, my kids sold everything. My teams sold everything. I don't know how much money I've made you spend, but that's
and my own kids raising my football teams and band and all that.
And now, now I find it in my heart. Any kid that's selling anything, I buy it. I buy it because I know, I don't care who it is. You know, it can be band, it can be ballet, it can be softball, it can be soccer, it can be whatever. I buy it. It's whether it's Christmas paper or peanut butter, peanut brittle or homemade cookies. I buy the Girl Scout cookies because I love them. But, it doesn't matter. Kool-Aid on the side of the road, I'm buying it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
And because I know how much when I sent my kids out. But I never gave to the United Way. And I never gave $1. I never gave a penny because early on in my career in the Postal Service, when I worked there before I was a teacher, we had the big campaigns and they would want, all the union people, they blah, 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 blah. Somebody brought in a thing about how much money actually goes to the people that run these organizations. And it's unbelievable, the six-figured salaries that these CEOs. Now, I'm not begrudging people that get six-figured salaries, but yesterday I was reading a report on the folks that it was the top 15 or top 20 organizations that give less than 11% of the money, and we're talking billions with a B of dollars, and less than 11% of what they bring in actually goes out. And I'm not going to name names. I want you to go and look it up yourself. So I'm super, super proud of the fact that 100%, and there isn't any. There are no 100% organizations like ours that give everything that comes in goes out. We don't skim, we don't replace cameras, whatever. It goes out. Look that up for yourselves. America, go to the YouTube right now. Look it up. You'll see that nobody else does that. So I don't want your money. It comes in on its own, but it's really important in your giving. And in the times that we're in, everybody has to give to somebody. It just makes you feel better. But I want to go on to say that.
All right, we appreciate that, Mosh. And yeah, the only money that doesn't go in is that when you give on the super chat, Google takes their cut. It's like 30%. So that's why I included the GoFundMe link into there, and it will also be in our show notes for the audio listeners. And anyway, so here's why. Here's what we're doing tonight, and here's what we're going to do with the money tonight. So typically we give to all Raiders-related charities, and we give to the big ones, especially like the Bolitnikoff Foundation, is where the majority of the money that we raise goes every year. But we had someone hit us up, and listen, this guy is super cool. So this is where we're going to give respect. We don't do props. We don't do shout outs. Nothing wrong with those things. But we're Italian. We like to give respect. And yes, Michelle, Google takes 30%. So if you donate $10, we get $7 is actually what goes to the foundation. That's why we encourage folks, if you're so inclined to give, you can go to our website and you can click the One Nation Foundation link. That will take you to PayPal. You can donate directly there, and we get 100% of that money. And then also any other way that you give to us. We've had people send us checks. We've had all kinds of stuff. But anyways, yeah, anything on those super chats and all that. And the nice thing about it is that Google makes it easy. And so that's why they get their cut. Is it hefty? Yes, I think so. But point being, though, is that they make it super simple and it goes straight to the foundation. And
when something better comes along, you can guarantee it. We're with them.
Absolutely. So anyways, but where I'm going with this tonight, this guy reached out to us. He sent a direct donation to the to the One Nation Foundation. I'm not going to tell you how much it was, but it was significant, okay? This guy sent in a donation, and I reached back out to him, and I said, thank you so much for that donation. And he was like, no problem. He said, but I kind of did it, he said, with a hope that you would help me out. And we get asked a lot for people to help us, or for us to help folks, because they know that we raise money. This is the first time I've ever had anybody give me money up front outright and say, I need you to help me amplify a message. So we're going to honor that tonight. And this is the letter I got back. This is after Swag Jeff answered him. And he says, hey, Swag, thank you for your time in responding. I must admit that me doing this had a deeper motive behind it. You guys are one of the largest charitable arms in Raider Nation, and me and my family could really use your help. Why did we reach out? Because you guys are top 3 Raider content creators. Plus, we both have different fan bases at our disposal, as so many of my folks are Chiefs fans. I'm a supporter of the Raiders, became so at age 10, and a hardcore supporter at age 15. You could say I'm trying to atone for past mistakes. I'm now a little more than 30, or a little about me. I'm 32 years old and I have cerebral palsy. Everything works just fine except for my right hand, and my legs are wheelchair bound. I'm lucky to have a wheelchair, but it has 120 plus thousand miles on it. And my caregivers, including my mom, are afraid to go long distances. The only way I'm going to get a good used van, the only way I'm going to do that is to get a good used van. My present and future caregivers can drive me around for the rest of my life. If you guys could just help me push my GoFundMe. So that's the GoFundMe that's in there. It's for this guy to help him get a vehicle. He says, I'm super stoked the way that you guys do raffles and was hoping that you could help me out. Much love. I would take a bullet for each and every one of you, and I mean that. I won't be in Vegas. It'd be too much hustle and bustle, except maybe I can go to a game. Thank you so much for your time and efforts. I'm certain the amount we could raise could also maybe help other people and organizations. Again, no need to donate directly, but just please push my link. If you guys could, I look forward to talking with you. Thank you, Murf, for responding, and drop me a link when you're ready. Thank you so much. Raiders, let's go. And he's doing this all voice to text is why it's kind of broken up there. But anyways, and he wanted me to say that. But like, point being though, hit that GoFundMe. This guy's name is Joshua Russell. He's a diehard Raider fan. If you follow me on Twitter, if you follow Raiders Fan Radio on Twitter, we got a link to it on there as well. We got pictures of the guy. He is super legit. We appreciate his donation. He donated to the One Nation Foundation, only asking us to amplify his message. So look, man, and so we're going to give that money to probably the Bolitnikoff Foundation, but also here tonight, any of the money that we raise via the super chats, direct donations, anything that we raise tonight, we're going to give that money to Josh and his GoFundMe page. And we got some super cool stuff to give away. So I went around the fan cave because we did this on short notice, and we got a couple cool autographed items to give to you guys. And Uncle Mosh, for those of you that are on the YouTube video, you can see him smelling an autographed Marcel Reese cleat over there. And
it's really his.
That's funny, Mosh, because that's not the first time you've smelled that Marcel Reese cleat. It was a whole weird celebratory thing when Marcel retired. But anyways, I'll save that for another time. Uncle Mosh, tell them what we're doing over there tonight. Tell them what we're raising. And listen, for those of you that are on the I promise we're going to talk about the Raiders. We're going to talk about Derek Carr's contract extension. We're going to talk more about the contract details. We're going to talk a lot about the draft. We're going to talk plenty of Raiders, but just listen, bear with us. Let's do some fundraising. Let's do a little bit of good. Let's show how Raider Nation is family first before we jump into this whole Raider thing.
Let me ask you something. Can you think of two better Raiders to talk about than Marcel Reese and Charles Woodson?
No, sir, I cannot.
Do you know what a Reese is?
Like a peanut butter cup?
Nope. You're close.
Okay.
Reese is the kind of a guy to surprise you by making you mad at him first, so the surprise is even better. He'd shower you with love all day because that's just who he is.
Oh, nice.
A guy like Reese is always there for you. He'd go the extra mile and then some. There really is no comparison to a Reese.
That's nice.
That's right out of Urban Dictionary.
Really?
A Reese.
Wow, I love that.
Can you believe that? I love that. Love that. So Marcel, and I'll get that in a second. Yeah. Marcel, we've got, of course, he's one of our all-time favorites. We've got his signed jersey up there. Josh has got an absolute awesome. Murph's got a super picture of him getting that. We've got his cleat right here. We are auctioning this bad boy off tonight. It is good to go. Not only that,
used cleat.
Game used cleat. So Marcel Reese, and then who else? Come on,
the GOAT,
Charles Woodson.
So Uncle Mosh,
Charles Woodson. For those of you on the podcast, I'm holding up a bottle of his Intercept wine, and not only am I holding it up, but I'm holding it up and showing you that he has signed it. This is a signed bottle of his Intercept wine. And when we got these, we tried to buy all of them. They wouldn't let us buy all of them. Yeah. They let us buy a handful. And we've had it, and it's outstanding. It's outstanding wine. So for every $10...
The next time the power goes out, we better ship that thing quick because we might tap into that last bottle right there.
Right.
It's so good.
So every time that you donate... in an increment of $10,
yes, sir,
you get a chip. One of these famous Swaggy J chips. Okay, so for instance, Trinidad just donated $20.
Thank you, Trinidad.
So Trinidad gets 2 chips.
2 chips.
At the end of the night, I throw all the chips into a bucket and I draw out. I will draw out first for the Marcel Reese cleat, and then I'll draw out for the Intercept wine.
Perfect.
So get them coming.
Also,
Ron's in there.
Yep.
Q Dog, Q threw in $4.20.
All right, I'll match the 680 or the I'll match the 680. So kids, I'll pitch in for the rest of that to give Capo a chip.
So there we go. So we've got 5 chips already in the bucket, and I'm keeping track. And we'll at the end of the night, man, we'll do like we used to do, like you said, old school. We'll throw them all in a bucket and we'll pull them out and show the winners, and there it is, man. And we'll ship that stuff at our expense off to these guys and be done with it.
So that's already $50 we got in, man. So let's keep
$50.
$50. We barely got the show going, so let's keep them going tonight. And we appreciate all of you so very, very much for all of your amazing support of the One Nation Foundation. And most importantly, tonight we're going to give to Josh and his cause to get Josh a new vehicle, so he can. Oh, look at that! On time, Crew Joe with a $20 donation. He says, "Add a little more for Josh." Thank you very much, Crew Joe.
That's after he already went and made a donation on the link.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Let's
go,
our dude.
Fans
Let's
are the
go.
best.
Let's freaking go. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all are the best. Thank you so very, very much. All right, after Uncle Mosh documents that last one there.
Got it.
Mosh, let's go ahead and kick off some just an audio break here. And then we will talk about, let's talk about Derek Carr, because nothing reels him in like, wait a minute. Oh, let's go. Kill Jadis. He says, "One chip gang, hooty hoo," with a $9.99 donation.
Come on,
there we go.
Kill
Thank
Jadis.
you, Kill Jadis. You rock, man.
Hey, Raider Nation, this is Max Crosby from the Oakland Raiders.
And goes down, and Max Crosby, who forced a fumble last week.
You're listening to Murf, Mosh, and Swag Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you so much. Just win, baby.
I like Max Crosby.
He's
I
the
can't
best.
help it.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And also just one last thing, and then I promise we'll shut up about it for a minute. I've got the GoFundMe is in the chat, and so if you don't want to participate, you just want to give directly and see all that money go directly to them, not go through our foundation, that's fine. Just go ahead and hit that link, and you can go straight to Josh's GoFundMe. I think he's looking for like 12 grand, 15 grand, something like that.
He'll
He's
get
already
it.
got
He'll
like
get it.
he's already got over 2. So like let's get him like over 4. Oh, look at that. Aaron the Q Dog Raider. Should I win? Donate to a Raiderette in the chat with a 1911 donation.
Nice.
Deal, my friend. Absolutely, that's a deal. We will give it away to one of the Raiderettes in the chat room. All right. Let's talk about Derek Carr. So we talked about the Derek Carr. Look at this. I love this. I love it when the colors start coming in on the freaking super chat. Swag Jeff with a $20 donation. Give these 2 chips to the top donator of the night before the raffle.
Done.
Thank you so much. Foxy Scorpio with a $10 donation in there. Thank you, Foxy Scorpio. We appreciate you so very, very much. This is going to be great. So we talked about Derek Carr's contract. And one of the questions that we had, because the news broke right as we were going to air, and so the news broke, and so about Carr's extension and kind of what the overall numbers were, and a lot of folks were asking about what the details of the contract were. We didn't really have a good idea of what it was going to look like. Certainly didn't have an answer to the details, and we said we would come back with it this week, and so sure enough, here we are, and we've got some details of the contract. Now, listen, I'm not a fan of talking about other people's money, so just know that the reason that I even like to bring it up, and I think it's a very valid topic of discussion, is that it's not about how much Derek makes to me. I could care less if it was $5, it was $5 billion, it doesn't matter. What I care about is the impact of the team. Like, that's where the value of these conversations should lie, is about that. It's not even about where he is in comparison to the market or anything like that. To me, it's because it's not my money. It's Mark Davis's money. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do with it. To me, it's all about how competitive is it going to allow us to be? As an example, the Niners just today had their star, Deebo Samuel, demand a trade. And a lot of people, and a lot of people on Twitter were like, here comes Dave Ziegler with a money bag for Deebo. Derek Carr went on Twitter and said, no, that money's for Renfro. Derek Carr is on record saying that, like, I wanted a team-friendly deal because I want everyone to be able to.
Right.
He's like basically said, like, make sure me and my family are taken care of. After that, let's take care of everybody else. So, like, that's the idea behind all this. And that's why, again, if you missed last week's show, this should be applauded. Like, the reason that Derek is doing this stuff should certainly be applauded. So when we look at the overall detail, the high-level view, it's a very team-friendly deal. So for 2022, he's got a 24.8 dead cap figure. So what that means is that that's the amount that counts against the salary cap, regardless of whether Derek's on the team or not. He could get cut for injury. He could get traded. He could get cut outright, whatever the case may be. If he's not on the team, it's still going to cost the Raiders $24.8 million against the cap with a salary of $19.3. After this year, it drops tremendously. Drops down to a $5.6 million cap number in 23, then 3.7 in 24, and 1.8 in 25. So what that means is Derek is highly movable at that point. So they're committed to him for 22, very much so. But after 22, they can move on from him if they chose to. I don't think they will, but they could, and it remains very friendly.
Without taking a huge hit.
Hit. So to draw that into context, again, I mentioned and paraphrased what Derek had to say, but here's what the exact quote from Derek this week. I think my cap number went down this year. I was like, hey, bring my cap number down. I don't care how we do it. Just make it to where at the end of the day, I'm fine. My family is protected, and we can protect and take care of my teammates' future too. Like, if you can't get behind like comments like that and a guy like that, like Derek Carr, like whatever. Yeah, I would encourage you to check your fandom. All right, to go even deeper though, this is what's fun. So last week I kind of went in on Mike Florio.
Right.
I went in on Florio because he was taking shots at Derek for the deal that he got and saying that he didn't get a deal that was within the context of what other deals are, but he didn't take into context the idea that that's not what Derek is about for all the reasons that I just listed. And one of the things that he criticized Derek for was for only getting $24.9 million guaranteed.
Yeah, and I think and Capo said that was 24 more than he makes.
Exactly. So which is like a hilarious thing to me that like that's actually something to be critical of. But there's more. As Andy Rooney?
Yeah.
The rest of the story.
No, Paul Harvey. The rest of the story. So the rest of the story, he didn't get $24.9 million guaranteed. Oh no. He got $65 million guaranteed. Now, is there a little bit of a loophole in there? Yes. Did Mike Florio mention that at all in his article? No, because that doesn't fit his narrative. And what a crazy concept. No.
The media won't give you all the details if it doesn't fit their narrative. I know that's a shocker, but it actually happens, even in sports media. All right, so here's the deal. So Derek Carr gets a signing bonus. He gets an average salary, and he gets guaranteed at signing that 24.8. But the total guaranteed is 65, okay? Why is the total guaranteed at 65? Well, because after that first year, the Raiders have an out. But if Derek Carr, who very likely is going to be the team's quarterback as of 2023, he gets another $7.5 million guaranteed of his 24 salary, and then fully guarantees the entirety of 2023. So, like, all he's got to do is make it past 1 year.
Oh, my goodness.
And Derek Carr's going to make $65 million guaranteed. Like, so is the team committed to him? Yes.
Yeah.
Is Derek Carr going to be your quarterback? Yes.
Yeah.
Is Mike Florio a dumbass? Yeah. Like, I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, so here's the bottom line. Derek Carr is going to be your quarterback through the 2025 season, at which case he's 34 years old. And then I think at that point, the Raiders can make a fair decision on whether they really want to move on from him or not. That's also at the same time when Devontae Adams' contract is up. He'll be 33 years old, I guess, at the time. Like, so and you know, look, if those guys rattle off a championship, a couple AFC West titles, like whatever, they're probably going to get re-signed, and those guys are going to be back on the team again. So that whole idea about the Raiders leaving an out for themselves, it's don't let it get overblown. Don't let the details get missed. And keep coming here, tuning in to Raiders Fan Radio for your thoughtful, hard-hitting analysis. Because here's the thing: we're not going to bullshit you to fit a narrative.
No,
we might give you an opinion, but you know what? There's plenty of times my opinions suck. Like, my opinions are flat wrong. You know what I mean? And we'll be the first ones to hold our hand up and say, you know, that was kind of a dopey idea. I should have never said that. But Mosh, isn't that funny how like,
oh my gosh,
you know,
what an idiot.
What
I
an
mean,
idiot.
how do you miss that? You know, you know how you miss it? You miss it on purpose.
You miss it on
You
purpose.
miss it on purpose. Well, I don't need to say that.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
All right, so Derek, this is the best. Okay, you ready for this? Chat room, you're going to love this, all right? So Derek did a really nice press conference after this extension, okay? He does a really nice press conference. But don't you know, he kind of addressed the haters. And he kind of addressed people like Mike Florio. And, you know, the Raiders Fan Radio microphones were there. So let's go.
We're everywhere, by the way.
Everywhere. We have microphones everywhere. All right, so hey, listen. Let's go check in with this. Okay, you want to be a fly on the wall of what it sounded like when Derek Carr addressed the haters? Here's what it sounded like.
I'm not leaving. The show goes on. This is my home. They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here. They're gonna need to send in the National Guard, a fucking SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere. Fuck
Nobody enjoyed a good Donnybrook more than 60-year linebacker Phil Villapiano.
Linebacker, number 41, Phil Villapiano.
This is Phil Villapiano, and you're listening to Raiders Fan Radio.
I'm not leaving.
That cracks me up.
I'm not leaving.
It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let's.
All right.
Oh, give us the update, Mosh. Sorry.
All right,
give us the
Ron.
update. Show them what's in play here.
Okay, so, here we go.
All right, here's the two things
That was riveting radio.
I'm not leaving.
So we've got the Marcel Reese, the autographed game cleat, and the Charles Woodson Intercept wine signed
nice.
here in Nashville.
Yeah.
Signed by, oh my gosh. We broke about 9 land speed records.
Yeah, we did.
There.
We were chasing Charles Woodson all over Middle Tennessee. Yeah.
All over. Yeah, so
everybody in the chat is saying Uncle Mosh needs to do a shoey out of Marcel Reese's clean. Oh my gosh. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. Let's monetize it. How much would it take for me to go over there and grab a Coors Light, pour it into that shoe, and you to drink out of it? How much would it take?
Yeah,
what kind of a donation?
Would we be able to auction it off after it's had a Coors
I think
Light?
if someone's willing to donate a decent amount of money for it, I'll tell you what. How about this instead? I got you. I'm going to cover both bases. Okay? I have a Marcel Reese autograph cleat because I got both of these at the same time. So I'm giving you one of mine. I'll send you the one that Uncle Mosh doesn't do a shoey out of. So that way it's nice and clean.
What do you get? Okay, so what's a shoey?
That's where you pour beer into it and you drink it out of the shoe. It's a shoey. You never heard of a shoey?
No.
Yeah.
No. Really? That's a thing?
Yeah, it's a shoe. I'm not even joking. It's a thing. Yeah, you pour beer into the shoe. It's like, I don't know, it's like a Scandinavian thing or something maybe.
Really?
German or something. I don't know. It's like some, European thing. It's called a shoey, and you pour beer into the shoe and you drink out of the shoe. Help me out, chat room. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You gonna do it?
Well, okay,
How
so
much? $50?
50.
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah, I'd do it for like 6 cents.
I only got 60 on me.
How much for you to do a shoey?
I gotta pay $50.
Everybody's like, no. I mean, they do.
I got it. That was a joke.
Oh, it's Australian. Foxy Scorpio says it's Australian.
No kidding.
Yep. There you go.
That is sick.
Yeah, Coach Davis says, what did I just walk into? The chat room daring Mosh to do a shoey for fundraising.
Poor Coach Davis. When he left us because I kept showing my belly, and now he's back, and I'm gonna be drinking Coors out of a shoe.
That's the best. All right. Think about it.
Michelle's like, don't do it, Mosh. Don't do it.
He says, what I miss? And Jeff says some weird shit, Coach. Oh, my gosh. All right, we'll just, maybe if that magic number comes in, we'll see what it is, and we'll see if it's enough to get Uncle Mosh to do a shoot. Shoot, I'll do it, man.
I'm not saying I won't.
Okay, I'm just going to say, because I'm all about it for the, I'll
do whatever it takes for the to get that guy in a new ride.
Heck
Come
yeah,
on,
man. Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go. Oh, look at Foxy Scorpio, $19.99 in there for a shoey. Let's go. We're gonna have a fundraiser within a fundraiser.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Foxy Scorpio. All right. If I get $200 designated shoey, I'm in.
200 total, or just you mean like because we're out to be
200 more. That you're already at 20.
200 more for the shoe?
200 more for the shoe, and I'm in.
Right, but they all count as donations. They're all donations.
Well, yeah.
All right, so basically,
it all goes into the pot going to where we're sending
everybody just say it's for a shoey. From now on, everything that you donate, just say it's for a shoey.
Full Metal Mexican, do it, Mosh, do it.
Yes.
You got to remember who you're dealing with. It only tells you like I was already in. It was drinking a Coors.
Oh my gosh! Oh, this is the best.
My gosh, how funny!
All right, let's talk a little bit about the draft. So, for those of you, let me give you a little bit of an update. So, I was a little misinformed last week. So you heard our rundown. Number one, first and foremost, and the main thing to think about this in terms of those of you that are going to be at the draft, meet us at the Rockstar Bar, south end of the Strip, Las Vegas, Thursday. That is the 28th, I believe, 2:00. Meet us down there at the Rockstar Bar. That's where we're going to do our listener meetup. We've already heard from a handful of you that are going to meet us down there, and we cannot wait to see you guys. And this is going to be awesome. So if you're in Vegas, go to the Rockstar Bar, 2:00 Thursday. Friday is the content creators flag football game put on by our buddy Graphic Raider. So everybody that's a content creator is going to be there. Like you name it. Oh, let's go! Let's go. That's Big Bass Raider comes down with a $50 bill.
Somebody called him and told him we were doing a giveaway tonight.
I know, because Big Bass Raider won the Summer of Swag last year, and a Big Bass Raider drops a 50 spot and says, Mosh, Mosh, Mosh. Let's go. That's shoey time right there, man. We appreciate you, Big Bass Raider, man. Right on. Most important. Terrell Graves. Bottoms up. Salud, cheerio, pip, pip. With a $20 donation. That is awesome. We are definitely going to hit that number. And I promise you, before we do the drawing, Uncle Mosh will be drinking Coors Light out of Marcel Reese's cleat. If you can't get behind that, I don't know what the hell we want out of a Raiders show.
In the off season, what more can you get?
What can you want than my uncle drinking a freaking beer out of Marcel Reese's autographed cleat? Oh my!
Michelle says, "I just donated $100 through PayPal." So he doesn't have to drink a beer out of the shoe.
Thank you, Michelle. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that is the best.
How funny.
So so join us if you're going to be in Vegas. So it's 11 a.m. It's at Buffalo Park, and it's all you got to do. If you follow Graphic on any of his social medias, it's all over the place. He's got it. So it's going to be tons of the content creators.
How fun
playing in a flag football game, and so he invited Jeff and I to be part of it.
Sure,
because we're going to be down there. And I said, hey, can we call the game? And he was like, if you guys want to play, or you can call, like whatever you want to do it. So I think Jeff might play, and I got a little juice in the arm left, but I think I'm a better broadcaster than I am a football player at 49 years old. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to full on set up, man, and I'm going to call the game.
Gosh, how fun.
I'm going to bring all my portable broadcast equipment, the whole 9 yards. And so I don't even know what the facility looks like, but we'll fake it, man. We'll figure it out. So if you follow us on the YouTube, look for us on Friday. So it'll be 11 Pacific. I believe they're Pacific, right? In Vegas? Yeah, it's Pacific. So look for us 11 Pacific, maybe even a little earlier. It'll start off with me and Swag calling the game, and then if he jumps in, he jumps in. But we're gonna go full on freaking like
flag football. Okay, I'll go on the air right now and say if Swaggy can lay out Cody, I'll give him $100. I'll throw in $100 out of my pocket, out of my shoey money. All he's got to do is knock him down.
we love everybody around here.
We love a lot of people. I love some of your family that I'd like to knock down. That's not the point.
Oh my gosh! All right, so so check us out. What?
Isn't Q going to be in there?
Aaron will be there.
You ought to get Q to broadcast with you.
Oh, Aaron, yes, let's do that. Yeah, if Jeff is going to play, Aaron.
If Jeff's going to play, get Q to go because I mean,
Perfect idea.
we had a year, 2 years ago in was it 3 years ago?
No, 19. Yeah,
Whatever it was, we had
3 years ago. I've got the football from it.
You and Q and I were on the radio, and he did a great job. So there it is.
Aaron's been on the show live in a fan cave.
Yeah. So there it is. Q, if you're listening.
Absolutely. That would be awesome. So definitely come and hang out with us. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, that would be great. And most importantly, I don't even know if we have a spot to sit down. I don't know, but we're going to be.
You don't need it.
We're going to go guerrilla style, man. Going to have all the stuff with us, and we're just going to go for it. So.
And Michelle says she'll match my Hunsky.
Oh, no. We're going to end up raising more money for that than anything else. All right, sorry. We love everybody around here. Okay. So anyway, so that's kind of what we're doing for the draft. So definitely check that out. But let's actually, let me shout out the chat room, kind of gather here. Ron the Materator is in there. We appreciate Ron, Paul Edgerton, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Lee B, Michelle Sweat, Swaggo is in there, Tyrone Grace, Batman, 4524. Oh, this is Joshua Russell. Wow, this is amazing. I can't even tell you what this means to me. Thank you so much. Joshua, you are very, very welcome, my friend, and so thankful to you for reaching out to us. And we're going to do everything that we can to mobilize Raider Nation to help you hit your goal, man, because Raider Nation is truly family. And not only do we say it, we want to represent it with everything that we do around it. So thank you for being in our chat room. We appreciate you very, very much. All right, so back to the draft. So before you can go to the future, and, as a Raider fan, we all know that the greatness of the Raiders lies in its future.
Right.
But we like to reference the past. We had some good times.
Hey.
We had some good times in the past. So there's nothing wrong with looking in the rear view once in a while. They would be able to appreciate some of the amazing stories that have come out of Raider Nation, including some of the amazing draft stories. Let's going to check in with two of them tonight. We heard from Villapiano last week, and so this week we're going to check in with the legendary Freddie B, who is one of our all-timers, and also Matt Millen, and we're going to hear his draft story. So let's check in and hear from those two guys about their experience being drafted by the Oakland Raiders.
Hey, I took a shot, and I'm happy I did. Before the Gator Bowl, I had choice to go to Detroit, and I had choice to go to Oakland. Both leagues offered you the same money, the AFL and the NFL. So there wasn't any difference in the money. And then I was thinking, okay, well, it's the old NFL, there's a lot of running, and then you can take the AFL, and you're throwing the ball 35, 45 times a game. With that in mind, I felt that I fit in better there as a player. That was a big thing for us, going there and winning and beating Oklahoma in the Gator Bowl and being on national TV. We beat them good. We dominated them. Al signed me right after the game on the sideline there, and I was happy about it. So before I even got in the locker room, I had signed the contract.
Oh, I love it, man. Love it. He signed a contract before he even came out of the game. All right, next up, let's check in with the legendary 55 double nickels, Matt Millen.
Hey, I'm Matt Millen, and this is my draft story.
The Oakland Raiders wasting very little time. They picked up Matt Millen, defensive tackle from Penn State, 6'1" and 1/4 inches tall.
The phone did ring, and they said, hey, this was the Oakland Raiders. That happened to be while I was sitting in the local Burger King. So I was sitting with my buddy Leo Wisniewski. I had my usual number of Whoppers, which was 3, and Leo had 2. And they said Penn State's Matt Millen was taken with the 43rd pick in the second round to the Oakland Raiders. And I looked up at Leo and I said, they're going to play me at linebacker. And Leo reached across and grabbed my Whopper and said, then you won't be needing this anymore. And he started eating it. And that's how I became an Oakland Raider.
Oh my gosh, this is the best. Don't you just love those stories, man, from those legends?
Oh.
It's the best.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff would be like, oh, he signed him on the sidelines now. But back then it was like, oh, right on,
Yeah. Al didn't mess around, man. Al didn't mess around.
He didn't. He saw a good thing, and he didn't want anybody else to get a shot at it.
Absolutely. So, all right, appreciate hearing from the legends, Fred Biletnikoff and Matt Millen. But as I said, the greatness, or not as I said, as I repeated what Al Davis said, which is the greatness of the Raiders lies in its future. And so the future of the Raiders is not only this draft, but also this new front office. And helming that new front office is Dave Ziegler. And he was out today. So this is fresh audio coming to you as of today on April 20th. And he was asked about like what kind of criteria he looks at in players during his evaluations.
What's the criteria that we look for when we're evaluating players? I would say for us, a lot of it starts with the person. And so, and we've talked about this kind of at different points, but I would say people that love football, you want people that are passionate about their jobs, right? We all want to work with those types of people. We all want to hire those types of people that are passionate about their work. So I think it starts there. Good people, good character traits. People that are willing to work with others, people that are selfless, people that are team-oriented, like those are really important things for us. Football intelligence is an important aspect for us. And I think kind of on its core, people that love football, people that are good teammates, people that have good football intelligence, those all calculate into low-maintenance individuals. And I think the more low-maintenance individuals that you have, where you're not expounding energy in those different areas, and you can focus just on getting better and winning, I think those are really some of the core criteria for us when we start to talk about a player on whether that player is going to be a fit for the Raiders or not. Forget about the talent and all those types of things. I think those areas have to make sense first, and then you graduate onto the skill set and the value and all those different types of things.
All right, so this is cool, man. So I don't disagree with this guy very often, but our good friend over there in Shropshire, Mississippi, across the pond, our good friend Paul in the chat says Mike Mayock said the same things. He said the same things about looking for guys that are players and dedicated to the game and all that, but there were a couple of key times in there that he said low maintenance individuals. We had not heard that yet, and wouldn't we all love to be surrounded by low maintenance individuals? And as a coach, Mosh,
100%.
talk about that.
Yeah, the less stuff you have to correct that's not football related, the easier your job is. And this job is not easy by any means. These guys, these are 3-4 hour a night sleepers. These are the guys that I'll sleep when I'm dead kind of mentality. But I do agree with Paul.
Okay,
I disagree with you a little bit. Because the things that he said make sense. And if you asked the 31 other people in the NFL that are in this position, they're going to tell you pretty much the same thing. What he said is...
Well, go ahead. Finish your point.
Not that's their only mantra, but that's part of it. What he said has a lot of value, and it's like... when you take something and you, we got to throw the football in the NFL. Okay, so are you going to zero in on the passing game, or is it just part of your run game? You're going to throw it, part of it. Your defense is part of it. Special teams is part of it. What are you going to focus on? So that is part of it. And I think that's what he's getting at.
Okay.
I'm not speaking for Paul, but I can see when Paul says, yeah, Mayock said the same thing. Yeah, Mayock said that. Mayock said a lot of other stuff too. That's just a part of it. But I think the new guy is emphasizing that part of it. You know what I mean?
And
that's where he's pounding that part of it home.
Amen. And I think that's what jumped out at me because this is where I would push back just a little bit as well. And they say radio's no fun if you sit around and agree with each other all the time. You got people and I know this, he's kind of an outlier, but you got a team like the Cleveland Browns that give $230 million guaranteed to a quarterback that's got all the maintenance in the world. Like, he's got pending charges against him. Like, you don't know how high maintenance this guy is going to be. There are so many times that and even the former regime of our team signing Antonio Brown, a dude that literally came in that branded as high maintenance. Like, if there's anything Antonio Brown was, it was high maintenance, and we knew that, but we brought him into the facility anyways because his talent, we were going to hope would override that. It's the crazy hot scale. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
oh,
That we were hoping
absolutely.
his hot was going to outright his crazy. And sure enough, though, his crazy won out. But what I'm hearing from Dave Ziegler is that, like, no, we want like 8s on the team. We want everybody that are a little bit crazy and a little bit hot, but not all the way. Like one or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's I think that's the thing that to me was a new message.
yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying is that. But again, I was just saying that he has Ziegler isn't wrong with what he's saying, but he's saying what they all say. I mean, wouldn't everybody want a team where hey, we all come in, we all sing Kumbaya, we all get along great, you know, and then we go out there and kick the crap out of the other guys, and then we come back in and we, and we all eat donuts and smoke cigars, or whatever it is they do, you know. So yeah, fair, very fair, very fair. All right, so good. Hey, but I'll say this: I like this guy. I like it. This is good. Yeah, I like where he's. I mean, look at you can't evaluate him on day one. We're not going to give him a draft grade 2 weeks from now. We got to see how this stuff plays out. But on the front end, optics and audibly and everything, this is great. So, all right, let's check in with Dave a couple more times. He references about moving around in the draft. Now, this is interesting. The Raiders traded away their top 2 picks to get Devontae Adams. And so now we're only left with a 3rd rounder. But I like this guy. He's leaving everything on the table. So many times our former GMs have been like, we pick where we pick. We're going to do what we're going to do. Not this guy, man. I think if something comes up, we might see the Raiders move back up into the first couple rounds.
Yeah, I think there's always those opportunities always exist. Some teams are, you can look at some of the statistics of teams that are more willing to trade. Some teams are more willing to trade up. Some teams are more willing to trade back. There's some teams, you look at their draft day history, they're not willing to trade at all. And so, we go through all that. We go through all that data, to understand what some of the trends are of certain regimes. But we also work through those conversations, and we're always going to be open to if there's a deal to be made that's going to benefit the Raiders, whether it's moving up in the draft, whether it's moving back in the draft. Those are always things that we're going to be open to and entertain if we ultimately think it's going to, be a good decision for us to add a good football player.
Any chance of a last-minute trade before the draft?
Always a chance. Yeah, always a chance for a trade.
Dave, is it kind of becoming alarming that
All right, so how cool is that, Mosh? So my takeaway on that comment was that, which we hear from the coaching staff as well, their willingness to be flexible and open-minded. Like, they're not going into this nor anything else, from a player evaluation to scheming to they're not going into it going, this is this very specific thing we're going to do. They're going into things going like, I don't know, we're going to see how it presents. We're going to see what makes most sense to better our football team.
Well, what's fun about that answer is that it came quick. It came quick. Now, it wasn't one of those that, well, we're holding it close to the vest, what we're going to do. We're not going to, because it's a secret. It was like, half the team could get hit by a truck tomorrow. I mean, it was like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, nobody is not replaceable. We know that. We've been in the business world. Anybody can do your job. Yeah. It's just with enough training and with enough time, sorry, so I love that. He's like, yeah, we could trade. Yeah, it could happen. And there was not any great big plan. We got to secret the war room. I mean, because like some of these guys that do that,
Yeah.
I kind of like the guy. I like how he handles the media a little bit.
I do too. And we've in our personal lives, we say it all the time. In my profession in real life, surprisingly enough, I don't podcast for a living.
We would if we could.
Absolutely. But anyways, but point being, I say it all the time. When I'm doing presentations and I'm speaking to groups or whatever, I say all the time, I take what I do seriously, but I don't take myself seriously. Like, it's, you know what I mean? And I think that a lot of times that we in our, professional lives, and especially in the NFL, where these are prominent individuals. There's only 32 of these people. There's only 32 Dave Zieglers that exist in the entire planet. It's a very high profile, lucrative, position they're in, a lot of adoration, a lot of attention, like all these things. So it's really easy to kind of get an inflated ego about it. I don't hear ego in this guy. He's lighthearted. He's like, I don't know. What kind of do we're going to do?
We're going to do what we're going to do.
We're going to do. We want to make the team better. Like, let's have fun doing it. Like, I mean, like, I think it's so refreshing. I
think he's saying, what I'm getting out of it is we're going to try to do it with as little stress as we can. Well, as little, we don't need the crazy, let's just get out there and do it. Let's just play football. Let's just play football,
it's
man.
It's a freaking game.
John Travolta in that one where they were on the motorcycles with Tim Allen.
Oh, Wild Hogs.
Yeah, Wild Hogs. I just want to
movie.
ride, man. I just want the wind in my hair. I just want to ride, And that's what he said. Let's just play football.
Let's just play football.
Let's just play football.
So funny. Martin Lawrence, man. Oh my
gosh. That movie was just so underrated, and it was so funny.
Underrated. Yes. Yeah. Very, very good movie. All right, let's check in with one more from Dave Ziegler, and so this is interesting as well. Kind of almost alludes to the comment we just heard prior that he talks about what Raider Nation can expect because it's Las Vegas. I know we're going to have fans from all the other teams. When we had the draft in Nashville, we went to that and had an amazing time and saw tons of Raider fans. But it was interesting, Mosh. Like it was a fun event because usually when you go to you go to a game, whether it's on the road or it's at home, you have like two factions. You have your team and then whoever the team they're playing against, right? But the neat thing about the draft is that you have every freaking cross-section of team of fan in the NFL. Like it's loaded with every team's fans, except maybe the Jaguars and the Chargers, because there's only like 3 of them and 2 of them aren't allowed to travel.
Right.
So it's very interesting, like when you go to a draft, but being that it's home is Las Vegas, you're going to have a disproportionate amount of Raider fans. It's going to be loaded with Raiders.
I disagree with that.
Okay, please.
Because I don't think we saw a disproportionate amount of Titans fans at ours. We saw a lot of Titans fans, but we actually saw, you and Q and I, we saw more Raider fans than we saw Titan fans.
You know what? That's a good point.
You're right. So odds are we're going to see more Raider fans, but Q, who hasn't missed a draft in I don't know how many years, is like other Raider fans that travel. We met up with the Raiders guys from Memphis. Remember we ran into them on the street corner.
Yeah.
There was
Gorilla was there.
Gorilla, you were hearing Raiders amongst all 626,000 people that were crowded there, and in the restaurants and in the bars and I don't know how many Rob Ryan autographs I signed, but but it was, I think there will be a disproportionate amount, not to steal your thunder, of Raiders fans, but I don't think it's just because it's Vegas. Because you got to remember, a lot of our Vegas fan base travels from SoCal, and they travel from other places, and they come in. So,
No, point taken. And in fact, and I agree with you. You're right. You're absolutely right. And so it's going to be one way or the other. Is going to be a bunch of Raider fans.
Yep,
there. We do know that. And so Ziegler is commenting about what can we expect as Raider fans? Because Swaggo and I are going to. So I'm going to be there for 4 days. Jeff will be there for the first 2. And so we were kind of talking about the first couple days. We don't really have a lot to pay attention to as Raider fans. I mean, you will pay attention because we love the NFL and all that. But in terms of the Raiders' activity in those first couple days, it's not going to be a lot, or maybe it is. So let's check in once again with Dave Ziegler and hear what he has to say about what Raider Nation can expect for the weekend.
Yeah, I think just to embrace it and enjoy it. It's a special thing to be able to host the draft and, go down there and experience all the things that the NFL has set up for fans to experience, and actually go see the draft. I actually attended the draft in New York City, and I don't know, that might have been in 2006, 2007. I waited out in line outside of Music City Radio Hall at 5:30 in the morning to get into the draft as a fan. It was the year that Randy Moss got traded, I think, on the second day. That's when the draft was, Saturday and Sunday. and I sat in there and listened to the draft and had that experience myself as a fan before I got into this business. And so I think it's a cool experience. If you love football, the NFL draft is an exciting thing. It's an exciting thing for your teams. But for the people in Vegas, I just encourage them to go down there and experience it. We should take pride in hosting these events here in Vegas. And like I mentioned, Vegas is a city to host big events. Big events should be in Vegas because that's the type of city that Vegas is. So I hope they show up and they enjoy it. And they'll have to wait a little bit. As of today, they will have to wait a little bit until when we pick, if that's how it all works out. But they should be ready for an exciting weekend.
How about that, Mosh?
Well, Vegas, there's not another town in the world that's prepared to host an event like this better than Las Vegas. We were there 25 times in the last 4 months. I mean, seriously, we were there a lot.
We were there a lot.
And each time when we would hop in the cab, we'd say, "What's in town?" Oh, there's 100,000 people here for this one, and there's and you didn't notice because no town ever, and I've been to every major city in the United States and some abroad, and every town would be just crippled. We know how. I mean, Nashville wasn't crippled, but we had to shut down major boulevards and major streets, and we had to remove trees to put up screens. And there was a lot of infrastructure issues that we had. That won't happen in Vegas. That Vegas is ready for that. That's what Vegas does. And there's going to be so much food, and there's going to be so much other entertainment in addition to what's happening with the draft that they're not going to have to do they're going to probably do the fan day thing for those people that maybe bring families or whatever, the fan experience, that'll be there.
Which is super cool.
But it's super, super cool. I remember you and Q and I walked over the bridge and across the river to go through all that at the stadium and everything. But that's not going to necessarily have to be the extent that it is in other cities because of what's going on in Vegas. You're going to be able to find a place to eat. You're going to be able to find a restaurant. You're going to be able to find a crap table or a slot machine or whatever. It's just because 400,000 people or 500,000 people come to this event, it's Vegas. It's Vegas,
it's
baby.
Still Vegas.
You're going to be able to do whatever you want to do and still enjoy this. So it'll be great.
Hey, man, I'm with you. Vegas doesn't stop being Vegas just because there's 700. And I think they're going to expect 700 people downtown. And so,
700,000.
Yeah, 700,000. 700 people.
Yeah.
What an event.
But I mean, think about it. What floor did we stayed in the last time that you and I stayed together? We stayed the second to last time in the Aria and the Vidara, the two hotels that have multiple thousands of rooms in them. Q was across the street at the MGM Grand, which at one time was the largest hotel in the world when it was built, with 3,648 rooms. It was the largest, and it's not anymore. It's maybe the top 10 in Vegas with all the rooms. So they're ready. It's going to be such a badass time. I'm so mad I can't go.
I know. I wish you were coming.
I got a wife that's still,
You didn't know at the time.
I didn't know at the time, and we had some COVID issues and things. So, but you guys are gonna have a blast anyway.
We're gonna have a blast, and the back half of my trip is gonna be amazing. So speaking of, we're gonna go see some shows. My girl Valerie's coming out. We're gonna have an amazing time the last couple days out there. Cannot wait for that Saturday and Sunday as well. And I like that part of the draft is fun too, because that's like the daytime stuff. It's not the prime time,
right?
So all the draft stuff happens during the day, and then at night we can go to shows. We can go hang out with Raider Nation, whatever we're gonna do. But it's oh my gosh, it's gonna be amazing. And so, anyways, hope to see you there. In Las Vegas. Definitely come check us out at the Rockstar Bar, and then at Graphics flag football game the next day on Friday. That is at Buffalo Park. And then I think that's what we got for the draft. We're not going to be on the air this next Wednesday because we're flying out Thursday morning. So I think that's anything else on the draft, Mosh? You think we're good?
I think the draft has about been covered.
About been covered. So Mosh, let's hit the chat room one last time, or I'll hit the chat room. And while I'm doing that, get our autographed items ready, and let's see if we can't get one more round of donations in before we get into the Sea of Fans and talk about your shoey that you're going to do. So appreciate everybody in the chat. Jeff Wilson is in there. Fabricator Gil, our good friend who has the most amazing tailgate there in Las Vegas. Appreciate you. Big Bass Raider, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, of course, our capo is in there. Chronicles of the Black Hole, that is Daniel. Vic Sacramento. Vic, that's a new name to us. Appreciate you joining us. Swag Jeff is in there. Let's see, who else is in there? Paul is in there. Batman, who's our good buddy Joshua Russell. And speaking of Joshua Russell, we are raising money tonight for him to get a new vehicle because he needs it. Josh has some health challenges and needs a new ride to help get around. We've got links to his GoFundMe going on. And also, we are auctioning off a couple items tonight, and 100% of that money is going to go to Josh's GoFundMe. Mosh, what do we got?
I love what Jeff Wilson said. He goes, 700, what is it, an A's game?
All
right, what I'm showing you here
that was good.
Is I'm showing you the Charles Woodson Intercept wine, and I'm not going to be shaking it around too terribly much. We got the package ready to go. All I got to do is slap a label on it, get it to the post office, and then I've got the shoe. The Marcel Reese game cleat. Absolutely awesome. It's just cool. This is so cool.
So for
it smells good. It's even got a Vapor Elite.
It's going to smell like Coors Light soon when you start drinking it. So for every $10 donation we get in the super chat, we're gonna Uncle Mosh will give you a poker chip, and then we're gonna draw a chip to see who the winner of the shoe is and a winner of the bottle of wine, of course autographed, and we will get those sent out right to you. And if you don't want to participate in that, you just want to give direct, you can give to the GoFundMe there. We appreciate that. Or if you send a donation to our PayPal, which you can find by going to our website at RaidersFanRadio.com, hit the One Nation Foundation link. That will take you to our PayPal for our nonprofit, and then 100% of the money you give there will go straight to our nonprofit, and then we're going to give that away tonight, of course, to Josh Russell.
So a couple things.
Okay.
Housekeeping, hit the like button. There's a handful of you in here that who haven't done that yet. Also, we've got a little bit of time left on this. And let's see, what else we got before we get into the Sea of Fans?
I think that's all we got, Mosh. I'm going to go get your Coors Light ready.
Okay, well, I'm going to hit the Sea of Fans, let you talk for a second.
Okay, got you.
And then
All right, I got you covered.
You had me on camera when I did that.
Yeah. You were talking, so you're on camera. Uncle Mosh is like, hey, I'm going to hit Sea of Fans.
He is fading, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He's thrown. It is. Oh, he caught it. He caught it.
All right, it is time to jump into the Sea of Fans mailbag. This is where we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing, and you can contact us a multitude of ways. You can contact us live each and every week at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 Eastern by going to youtube.com/RaidersFanRadio, and you can jump into with the live chat, the absolute best community in all of Raider Nation. We are so thankful and so proud of not only the best community in Raider Nation, but all of NFL fan-created content and frankly all of sports. Man, we are so proud of our family in there, and thank you so much to Josh, to Trinidad, Fabricator Gil is in there, Vic Sacramento, OG Daniel is in there, Paul, Jeff Wilson, so many Fargo Raiders in there. He says, good morning. RFR fan was busy whipping up some bang bang shrimp. Let's go, dude. That stuff is delicious. All right, so appreciate you. So yeah, contact us that way. Or you can send us a voicemail at any time. You can send us a voicemail at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. If you send us a voicemail there, we will play it on the show. And if we play it 3 times, you will become a made man or a made woman. And we have a new made man tonight, Mosh, which will be very cool. Can't wait to get to that. What, Mosh?
What are you drinking?
No, I'm good. I got a couple in the holster still. Yeah, I got my little.
It's off season. We can be a little irreverent.
Irreverent? Oh, heck yeah, we can be irreverent. There we go. Yeah. So speaking of Mosh, for those of you that are on the video podcast on the YouTube, you see Uncle Mosh's shirt there says "Get Made" because yes, if we play your voicemail on the show 3 times, we refer to you as a made man or a made woman, and so we've got a new made man tonight. We can't wait to announce that. And then also, last but not least, you can send us an email. You can send us an email at show, that is SHOW, at RaidersFanRadio.com. For those of you taking notes, that incredibly inventive email address is SHOW, that is show, at RaidersFanRadio.com. And if we read your email an indefinite amount of times, you can become a made man or a made woman. Speaking of the made men, Fargo Raider is in there, gives $20 to the One Nation Foundation, which earns him 2 poker chips. And he says, I love RFR, and you guys are, well, he says, you're the best. You're the best too, Fargo Raider. We appreciate him. He says, let's go Ziggy. I love that. We got to start calling Dave Ziegler Ziggy.
Ziggy.
Yeah, Ziggy played guitar.
The Zigster.
Right. Oh, Fargo Raider with another one. Need a Get Made shirt and a Made Man. A Get Made shirt, a Made Man tattoo. That would be legit, Fargo Raider.
Oh.
Dude, okay. So I'm going to tell a story while Uncle Mosh is writing down these donations. So the first person to ever get a Raiders Fan Radio reference tattoo is our good friend Raider Ramon. So he had a Raiders shield on his bicep, and he has Made Men written then underneath it, which was super, super cool. So he was the first one. I was second. I'm playing for second place. So I had Get Made on my arm. I don't know if you could see that. And then now I have the RFR logo up underneath there. And so yeah, you would be the third Fargo Raider. You'd be the third person to get some Raiders Fan Radio ink, and that would be absolutely amazing. And if you do, please send pictures.
Oh, send pictures for sure.
Oh, Fabricator Gil coming through with a $20 donation. Appreciate you, Fabricator Gil. That earns 2 more poker chips. And we appreciate you, my friend. And again, I cannot celebrate Gil and his tailgate enough. He was so kind to not only host us, but to hoist our Get Made Raiders Fan Radio flag.
Oh my gosh.
High above the Las Vegas landscape, man.
And fed me.
Food. So good.
So good.
So good. Appreciate you.
Fargo says, permission to copy that. Permission granted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, Mosh, we've got emails tonight. Who do we got so far?
Man, oh, man. All right.
And while you're doing that, now it's my turn.
All right. So, you already gave him all the lowdown about everything while I was in the pate, right?
Yeah, I did
all right.
You got it there?
I got it, man. Get away from me. Yo, what's up, Murf? Swaggy and the one and only Uncle Mosh. I hope all is well and everyone is safe and in good health. First of all, can we get a round of applause for Kill Jadis? You can't help but respect the creativity he has. Ain't that the truth? Sometimes I spend a few days on an email trying to make sure it's good and still have misspelled words and sentences placed in the wrong area. Meanwhile, he's commentating an entire wrestling match while juggling personalities like me, myself, and Irene. Speaking of wrestling, I know I'm late, but I watched WrestleMania after not watching wrestling for 15 years. I really felt like Andy Reid in a candy shop. I picked the right time to bring back that nostalgic feeling. Only thing missing for me was a D-Generation X reunion. When I was younger, if I had a water bottle, I was definitely the Black Triple H, and everyone around me was wondering if it started raining or not. I love that entrance, man. When he would do that, that was the best. Before I misspell more words, I'd like to address the Derek Carr contract. Some people are saying that the Raiders have an out after 1 year, but people are failing to realize that he only wants to be a Raider. If it doesn't work out, then he will simply retire. He won't get traded to a team, and the Raiders won't be on the hook for a Jared Goff or Jimmy G type contract.
I love it when you mispronounce sucky player names.
Oh.
That's my favorite. They're so insignificant that you're like, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, it's golf, but it's not the point.
So funny.
He's like I didn't call him Gerard. Or Lost a game in year. Okay, where was I? Contract. Or remember, when Andrew Luck retired and the Colts still paid him, it's a win-win situation with Derek. Plus, even though I haven't lost a game in years on my Madden franchise, every offseason I'm trying to figure out why I'm $10 million over the cap. Anyway, see y'all in Vegas. All love and respect. Ta-da, Raider!
Nice.
P.S. My goal in Vegas is to wake up confused like Steve Grant on Moonlight.
That's amazing. So this guy, a phenomenal show. Oscar Isaac is amazing. It's a Marvel TV show, Mosh. And so he basically wakes up in a different personality just about every day. The first episode is called The Goldfish Effect. It's like he just wakes up and everything like is new. I love that.
Like a quantum leap kind of thing?
No, more like I don't remember who I was last night.
Oh,
and so Tyler Rader with an excellent reference there. I cannot wait to see you down there in Vegas, my friend.
Dear RFR, what an off season for the boys. Who knew that by draft week, Devontae Adams would cross over and join the dark side? But that's been covered enough. I'm here to talk about our QB, number 1, the number 4, Derek Carr.
Let's go.
Toward the end of the season, I said all I want to see was for DC to lead the boys and not fall apart towards the end of the season. At Christmas time, I was the only one in my family, including my uncle and my father, who are OG diehards, who said the Raiders would make the playoffs. Well, DC earned his ticket to the playoffs by winning 4 straight and ending the Chokers season. Somebody else said that was going to happen. So please explain. So please explain this, RFR family. How the actually hell do we have the 4th best QB in the division?
Come on.
If you ask me, Carr is number 2 in the division. Kermit the Frog Mahomes is number 1. Oh, yeah, back-to-back AFC Championship appearances, winning 2 out of 3. But Russell Wilson, give me a break.
Let's go.
Justin Hebert, didn't he lose a winner-take-all game and watch the playoffs from home?
Hello.
Carr earned the right to go to the playoffs and earned his contract extension. All of the experts, cough, cough, Mike Florio, say Carr isn't worth the money. Well, I say this. Suck it, haters. When have we ever cared about outside noise? If you're not with us now, don't jump on the bandwagon. When are we leaving the rest of the division in the dust? Raiders, 2022 AFC, the Western Division champs.
Let's go.
Book it. Mic drop. Daniel Mangus, proud made man, RFR Gemini Man Award winner 2020, Saurus Loser 2021. P.S. Opening day for the Athletics was amazing. The tribute to Ray Fosse was incredible. My only regret is I wasn't there in person. Wow. I would have loved to have.
That's your wheelhouse. Big time
I love
right
Ray
there.
Fosse, man. I have Ray Fosse baseball cards still.
Do you really?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man. That's awesome.
Hello, RFR family. Once again, Raider Chemist here with a late email. I'm sure everyone knows the news. Derek Carr got extended, and it was well-deserved. He is a good quarterback, and all those that say he is trash and that we should go in the draft to get a new quarterback should be reminded of the 20 years that we did that until we found Carr. I mean, even if we say he is top 12 QB, he is still better than 20 other starters. And we should throw that at a lottery that could give us a Carson Wentz or a Zach Wilson. I think not. I'm very excited for this season. I was just watching the highlights of last season, and the first few games, every time it was Ruggs going deep. Unfortunately, given what happened, he was gone, and then it was Zay Jones and the Renfro show. Jones already got paid, and Renfro will too eventually, but I can only imagine the mayhem that Carr and Adams will unleash. F them picks. I say lastly, I would like to say that I am very excited for next season. We have one hell of a roster, and the condiments are only going to get worse. Chargers will charge it up at the end of the season like they always do, and the Broncos are no threat. I believe we have a window now at 3, maybe 4 year window. I'm sorry, a window now, a 3 or maybe 4 year window to get that Super Bowl. And I would not have it any other way than with Carr at the helm. Raiders. Sincerely, Raider Chemist.
Let's go, Raider Chemist. Appreciate that email, my friend.
Hi, Murf.
Hi.
Uncle Mosh, Swag Jeff, Capo, the made men and women, chat, and the nation. Let's talk DC 3-year extension worth $121 million, which means DC is now under contract for the next 4 years of an average of $35.5 million. In DC's press conference, he mentioned that his contract is structured to keep other players on the team long term.
Yes.
He also said this year will count even less than 19 mil. I hope that means Hunter gets his extension this year and Waller gets an extension. Also, don't be surprised if we don't make another big move either during the draft or afterwards. I personally hope it is a trade for DK Metcalf. I like to see us trade for a second-round pick in the draft and get a linebacker like Chad Muma. Let us to the draft Noah Ellis in the later rounds. I'm so glad DC looks to have what it took to get a contract that will make the Raiders in a better spot for years to come. Raiders! And that's from our one and only running back.
Oh, nice job, Tim. That's a fantastic. I love those calls, man. That's Chad Muma and DK Metcalf. Yeah. I don't think that DK Metcalf might be a little bit of a
might be a stretch.
Might be a little stretch there, but Muma, man, that guy's legit. Yeah.
Good evening, all. As the good ship RFR is prepared for another voyage over to Vegas, the rest of us are left home, full of anticipation as to what lies in store for us.
No fan left behind, Paul.
No fan left behind. Mock drafts are about to be discarded, and pieces of scrap paper with different names and scenarios will be thrown away as we await the announcement that the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock and the real business can commence. It's been a while since I've been this relaxed going into a draft. Me too.
Yeah?
Me too.
It's
yeah.
just because we don't have the first two rounds?
Well, and it's just, I think it's just a lot of it's because we got a really good team going into the draft. You know what I mean?
Good call.
And
We
I
don't have
think
to draft our savior or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I got you.
So anyway, Paul says he's really relaxed going into the draft, and while I'm happy with this with the reasons why, we haven't got an early pick. It would have been nice to see what Ziegler, Kelly, and McDaniels would have done with a first rounder. Too many times over previous years as fans, we've had to approach the draft with a sense of dread as coach after coach has, it would seem, stuck a pin in a piece of paper to make a selection. Really? You think so?
F to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't furl.
After thinking about the team's needs, this has led to a yearly sense of dread as we were constantly led down the path of why the hell did they pick him? So why should this year be any different? Why do we think that when the desert dust has settled on things, that we aren't waking up on May 1st trying to justify the reasons for our third-round pick being a one-legged punter with a limp from the University of Holy Crap? Well, the main reason this time around is that adults are running this organization. There's a structure to recruitment and contract negotiations and a thought process that seems focused on putting the needs of the roster first rather than some fanciful notion from a bygone era. Was that a shot at the last regime?
Wow,
Maybe.
yeah.
We can trust Ziggy, Kelly, and McDaniel to do the right thing.
Ziggy again.
I said it. He wrote Ziegler. I just had that.
Okay. Well, I like it.
In their short time with us so far, they've proven them, or it's 420, we could call them Zigzag. In their short time with us so far, they've proven themselves to be of solid character. There doesn't appear to be any panic. Everybody is calm and trusts the process. You know, we talked about that from his interviews.
Very much so.
You know, I get the feeling that once the next 10 days are over, plans are already in place to pick up some hidden gems in the UDFA market, and then the coaching staff can take over and have their chance to shine. While Zigzag and Kelly can head back to their war room and draw up plans for the next couple of years. We seem to be in very good hands this time, folks. We need to hide behind the sofa when you hear Commissioner Goodell say, with the 86th pick of this year's draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select. Also this week, I have a question that I meant to ask a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
If it has been announced and I've missed it somehow, then I apologize in advance. All right, here goes.
Okay.
Does anybody know the length of Dave Ziegler and Coach McDaniel's contracts? I ask because I could give up some ideas as to their recruitment plans. If it's a 3-year contract, for example, then we could be going all in now to win. If it's a 5 or 6 year deal, then we could take a calmer approach once the initial players are in place. Either way, I would hope that there hasn't been another dumbass 10-year Gruden type deal handed out. So before I finish up his letter, do you know?
I don't know. I can speculate.
Okay, go ahead.
I would say that the actions dictate shorter term and length of the contract. And I would say this, that in the immediacy of today's environment where we want everything fast, we want everything now.
Right.
The NFL is fallen to that as well. And while I agreed with your points for so many years about Gruden and that they were building a foundation for long-term success, I think that the Rams model the Buccaneers model, that idea that you go all in now to win a championship and then you see what you can do from there. I think that's what these guys are doing. That Patriots idea of what, Ziegler and McDaniels are coming from. I don't think they have the luxury of doing that because they don't have 7 rings to support the legacy of what Bill Belichick did. So I think it's probably shorter term, and they're certainly acting accordingly.
So you're thinking maybe 3 to 6?
Yeah, 3 to 5 even. Like, I don't
Chat
even know
room,
that
if you
long.
know, let us know.
Yeah.
So the race to the best young talent is almost with us. Final preparations are being made in Vegas for the onslaught of numerous fans of different teams from all over the country. And let's not forget the Charger fan. The Charger fan.
The Charger fan.
If you see him on your way around town, try not to embarrass him too much. He has enough to deal with being on his own all day. The burger joints, the burger joints and steakhouses will have ordered in more killer whale and walrus for Andy Reid, and the Raider image will have taken on more staff, knowing that Swag Jeff and Graphic Raider are going to be in town at the same time.
Nicely
and
done.
Finally, this is for you, Murf.
Okay.
If you see MJ Acosta on your travels,
oh my gosh,
a signed photo would be really nice. I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
Have a safe trip, fellas. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Pauly Award winner 2019, Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, BRT Sizzler scorekeeper, proud made man, five-time plus one, winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Oh my gosh, nice job, Paul.
Paul.
Paul, your name Paul?
Hello?
Paul.
Paul.
I met him with Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
So, another Fargo Raider, man. He wants that. He wants the stuff.
Oh, nice.
So,
Okay.
we got another. He just bought him another chip. We only got a few more minutes. We're going to get through the audio for portion of the Sea of Fans.
Yes.
We're going to hear from the Capo and a handful of other folks. So I'll be monitoring this.
Okay.
Get them in. Get your donations in. Do it now. Let's get it going. We are at a got a few $100. We're good to go.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd like to get us. I'd like to double that if we could. But hey, that's just me. That's just me.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, and we didn't quite hit my 2 bills, but
we will before the show's over.
Before the show's over, we're gonna get it. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling these chips and get everything ready to go while we're listening to the the audio portion of Raiders Fan Radio, Sea of Fans.
All right.
We hear from you.
All right, appreciate you. And you can call us at any time on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline. That is at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Leave us a message 24/7, and we will be honored to play your voicemail on the show. And if we play your voicemail 3 times, you become a made man or made woman. And so this guy's call is number 2 to the show. We heard from him for the first time last week, and let's welcome into the show and to the Sea of Fans and soon to be made man. I'm calling it right now. Soon to be made man and Vegas resident. Look forward to meeting him very soon at the draft. And that is our new good friend, Cody Thompson.
Hey, this is Cody Thompson. So I just didn't want to be a one-and-done caller, so I'm giving a call back. But it's still off-season, still not a lot of news going on. So I know the first call was a big love fest for you guys, which is all genuine. But I figured I'd take this opportunity to just, I guess, give a quick rundown of who I am, what I'm about. I mean, for starters, not a singer, not a historian, definitely not a panty dropper like Mr. Rico, but just a guy with a beard who just loves football, loves Raiders, and I mean, love my wife and kids too. Got to throw that in there before I get home and all my locks are changed at the house. But grew up in Southern California, outside of Palmdale, and was put in Raider gear before I could even walk. And here I am, 20 years in Vegas, and you know, lucky for me, that right in my back door now. So just you know, a big fan, and finally took my wife to her first game since they're here in town, and never even watched football until I took her. We went and saw the Dolphins last year, and she's converted now. So that's
nice.
Another benefit of them being in Vegas here, and which reminds me, you guys coming in, definitely going to be there. Come see you guys. I just requested my time off at work for the draft, so definitely catch you guys at the bar. Catch up with you guys wherever I can and meet you. Thank you for the invitation, and thanks again, Murf, for having my back on my first call. Even though I didn't win the Sizzler, but yeah, that was it. Just again, slow off season, so I figured I'd take the opportunity to squeeze in another call here and you know, toot my own horn a little bit. But that was it. Take it easy, fellas. Go Raiders.
All right, right on. There's our good friend Cody Thompson, man. We appreciate you. Great job on that call, and look forward to hearing from you on the next Raiders Fan Radio and making you a made man in here, making it official. And then, of course, look forward to meeting you here next week down there at our listener meetup, which will be at the Rockstar Bar at 2 p.m. on Thursday, the 28th. Look forward to meeting Title Raider down there, Cody Thompson, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. So many of our good friends are going to be down there. Cannot wait for that. All right, next up, let's check in with our buddy. This is number 3. So after this voicemail, we're going to play the music and we're going to honor his contribution to Raiders Fan Radio. And this is new contributor. This is a very timely reference. This is Sergeant Joe Friday of Dragnet fame.
This is Sergeant Joe Friday of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and I would like to send a direct rebuttal to the comment.
I'm sorry, Mosh, I had you muted. What was that?
Dun, 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 dun.
Nice.
This is Sergeant Joe Friday of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, and I would like to send a direct rebuttal to the comments made at a recent press conference by Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf. Ms. Schaaf, you ignorant piece of City Hall tonal garbage. With all the problems you have in your own township, which has people fleeing quicker than Tyreek Hill running away from the AFC West, I'd like to point out that the gross desert which you characterize as the city of Las Vegas is blossoming and on the rise. It has a pro hockey team, an NFL team, a WNBA team, and it will soon be home to the current sole tenant of the feral cat-infested Oakland Alameda Coliseum. It's funny, in one of your pressers you showed a picture of Allegiant Stadium next to an artist rendering of a beautiful, pristine ballpark nestled within the ports of Oakland. I'd like to credit the artist. It is quite a lovely view. And yet, it's just as spectacularly foolish and steeped with falsehoods and fool's gold as the dreams of the championship parade for the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know how you won re-election, but I would venture a guess that it probably has something to do with an email exchange between you, Roger Goodell, and Daniel Snyder. As for the gross desert of Las Vegas, it can't be any more gross or dry than Libby's. Well, never mind. The listeners can draw their own conclusions, and many haven't had dinner yet. Let me suffice it to say that you need to stay home, take care of your own problems, and tend to the spilling dumpsters and swarming cats that are now left in the once beloved city of Oakland. It makes me sad what you've done. It makes me even more sad what you haven't done. I hope that you will take up Mayor Carolyn Goodman's offer to have you come to Vegas and attend a Raiders game. Maybe you'll learn something, or maybe you'll just make things even more gross and dry than they would have been before your arrival. Long live the city of Oakland, without the fang-nailed tendrils of the true female of cosmopolitan crap. That would be you, Mayor Libby. May you rest well on a seedy mattress next to a feline-fetid dumpster filled with scraps of 9 lives and Oakland A's ticket stubs. This is Sergeant Joe Friday, wishing all the participants within the RFR fan cave a pleasant day. Viva Las Vegas, and enjoy the draft.
Oh my gosh, that is freaking epic, man. Oh my gosh, Sergeant Joe Friday bringing the thunder down on Mayor Libby Schaaf. Congratulations, Libby. You lost the Warriors, the A's, and the Raiders collectively all in a couple of years.
Good job, Lipster.
Oh my gosh. But hey, but more importantly though, let's honor Sergeant Joe Friday. Welcome him to the table. You are the newest made man and member of the Raiders fan radio crew.
You
that was
are
good.
a made man. You showed you are part of the family by participation. By chance, a man like yourself should make enemies, then they would become my enemies. Showing you are a friend of Raiders fan radio, you have leapt across the line. Friendship is everything. Friendship is more than talent. It is more than the government. It's almost equal to family. Be loyal. Made man, Raider fan. Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this as a gift. And don't ever forget, words can hurt more, but silence can break hearts.
Oh my gosh, that was epic, Sergeant Joe Friday. So appreciate you, Sergeant Joe Friday. And you know what, Uncle Mosh? I've made a big mistake.
You forgot Capo.
I did. Well, I didn't forget. No one forgets the Capo. But I've got, I'm not going to get into the weeds on this thing, but Windows updated to the newer version of, and it threw my order off. And I'm sitting here going like, something's missing. And I'm like, it's freaking Aaron. So anyway, so I'm gonna hit backwards here. So we just featured the newest member of the RFR crew, the newest made man here at Raiders Fan Radio, and so I mentioned that Sergeant Joe Friday is now part of the crew. Well, every crew needs a captain.
Absolutely.
And our captain is Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. We call him the Capo, and he always kicks off this segment, except for when my computer does something different, and I'm a dumbass, and I'm just
it's not totally your fault. We were in a bad way up until like 3 minutes before we went on the air tonight.
I know, we had some serious technical difficulties going on. We barely got the show freaking halfway put together. And I'm like freaking like Will Ferrell and like Anchorman. Like I only follow the teleprompter. I don't think for myself. I only follow the things that are on the screen.
Look to the left.
Exactly. So I apologize, Capo. I very much apologize for not featuring your call at the top. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's celebrate Sergeant Joe Friday as being the newest made man. But let's celebrate the Capo, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, and let's kick off the rest of this segment with him.
Greetings, Don Murf, Sig Larry, Uncle Mosh, on the boss Sonny, our Sergeant at Arms and Sizzler, Big Raider Trucker, Mojo from the Universe Speaks, Ramon the Mean King, Swag Jeff, Chuck Spiderhead McCann, Inebra Nation, Ron the Mater Raider, special shout out to Gil, Respect Duke, Fabricator, from the IE. Now, you can probably tell by the sound of my voice that I'm at a fever pitch, baby. It's about my time of year, the draft, baby. And the NFL Network's David Carr and former Raider James Jones, they discussed the dominant quartet and whether the Las Vegas Raiders NFL's best group of offensive skill position weapons. Now, General Manager Dave Ziegler, he's added together thus far just a masterpiece. And I can't wait to see this team get locked, get loaded, and unleash hell on the rest of the NFL. Now, last Thursday, these two, they got together, and Jones corrected himself last time by saying it's too much of a challenge for the Raiders are going to put up against any defense. You have arguably two of the best route runners in the league. No, let me switch that up. You have two of the best route runners in the NFL in Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams. How do you slow that team down? The older car added, the defensive coordinators all around the league are going to have to answer that question for the whole 2022 season. Let's go. Now, Coach Josh McDaniels is able to instill his offense and his expertise as captain of the ship. Damn, it feels good to be a Raider. Now, May 2nd is the deadline for NFL teams to make decisions on fifth-year options of former first-round draft picks, and we've got 3 of these knuckleheads. Now, Josh Jacobs, we selected him with the 24th pick in the 2019 draft. He's been, the team's main running back, since then. But the former, and I emphasize former Pro Bowlers' numbers have noticeably declined last season. After back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons in his first couple of years, Jacobs, he slowed his pace, rushing for 200 yards fewer than he did in 2020. Now, his dubious alcohol-related single-car accident at Harry Reid Las Vegas International Airport wasn't the stuff that team leaders are necessarily made of, given that subsequently there have been other Raider teammates that have had alcohol-related accidents. And, it's just poor form. Now, a case can be made for the Raiders to extend the option on Jacobs, but the organization might consider, his declining production and the mounting injuries as a high risk. Jacobs faces a potential $8 million fifth-year option. Verdict? Sign it. Anchors away on year 5, baby. Now, Cleveland, F to the E to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't
F
worth
to the E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L. It ain't furl.
Was drafted by the Raiders with the 4th overall pick in the 2019 draft. Now, he's had his opportunities. Cleveland was so impressive that the Raiders just had to go out and sign Pro Bowler Yannick Ngakoue last season in order to improve the production at his position. Now, Farrell never started a game last season, seeing a huge fall off in his metrics, framing his below average replacement player level production. To be fair, Farrell is likely better than that, but the Raiders don't have time to see if he's going to have a significant jump in a new system. Making matters worse, Ngakoue was replaced with an even more decorated pass rusher this offseason in Chandler Jones. Barring injuries, Farrell should once again find himself as a reserve rotational role this upcoming season. But that doesn't mean that he can't find success. He might even be able to rejuvenate his career, but it ain't going to be with the Raiders. Verdict? He walks the plank. Jonathan Abram. He was selected with the 27th overall pick in the 2019 draft. Abram, he's been a consistent starter for the Raiders in the secondary, barring, his year 1 long injury. But let's look at this for a second. He's had very little competition for his safety spot. Now, this has actually been called into, question by the signing of Duron Harmon. And I see that, this 25-year-old cat might actually push this guy for snaps. Perhaps no player has disappointed wearing the coveted number 24 jersey more than the Mississippi State product. Abram faces a potential 7.9 fifth-year option. Verdict? Walk the plank. Can anyone tell me who our backup quarterback is right now?
Garrett Gilbert.
Mosh. Swaggy J. The Raiders have historically done the right thing in the face of the AFL and NFL. That said, I believe we should, try out former Nevada quarterback Colin Kaepernick, yes, that Kaepernick, whose journey from dual threat young gun QB to Super Bowl signal caller to championship of social advocacy and then out of the league has been one of the most fascinating tales over the past decade. Now, while there have never been any official statements made by the NFL or its team owners as to why the Nevada alum is unwanted in the league, it's just been kind of an unspoken thing by the people that are in the decision-making, roles throughout the league. And he's been out of the league since his contract expired in 2016. Despite how divisive Kaepernick's decision to speak out on social injustice issues by taking a knee during the national anthem has been, and we all know it shouldn't have been, many of the topics he's pushed to the forefront of the NFL conversation have taken a greater priority in society over the last few years, turning Cap from an alienating figure to a sympathetic one as he sacrificed valuable years of his athletic prime outside of the gridiron. Cap admits, he's fine with being a backup quarterback this upcoming season. over the last few months, the 34-year-old has started to make another push to gain interest back into the sport he loves. And there have been rumblings that there are several other franchises that might be interested in this particular cat. So let's pull back and look at just the numbers themselves. Kaepernick's stats over his career are 12,271 passing yards, 72 TDs versus 30 interceptions, and an overall 88.9 QB rating. How many cats holding clipboards can boast that? Now, when asked why he still feels strong about his desire to return despite, being away from the profession for nearly 6 years, Cap explained his position to come back more than just wanting to compete, but to complete his goal since he was a child, simply winning a Super Bowl. And I believe our Raiders are just a vehicle in order to make that happen. This is the season for forgiveness, for atonement. I mean, have we not just gone through Resurrection Sunday? So why wouldn't the Raiders be the perfect vehicle in order to make this guy whole again? It's time to forgive. The Raiders just hosted an Ohio State product by the name of Thayer Munford for a top 30 visit. Now, you know how I feel about Ann Ohio State University, but this guy might be one of the best day 3 picks that we can acquire for a top 30 visit. They brought him to the building because this guy is a 2-time first-team All-Big Ten selection at both left tackle and right guard. We need to bring this guy in. He stands 6'6", weighing 320 pounds, and he's an offensive lineman that legitimately will be there in the 4th round. Also, Washington State's Abraham Lucas, who accumulated 42 starts over his career at right tackle, was a 4-time All-Pac-12 selection. He's also going to be there in the 3rd round. So these are realistic people that can help bolster our doggone offensive line. Now, from May 23rd, that's right, that's Swaggy J / Q-Dog Day, through the 24th, May 26th, and June 1st through the 3rd, June 13th through the 14th, and of course, mandatory minicamp going from June 7th to the 9th. Silver Linings, former Raider Marshawn Lynch, who always reps the town, took his skills and his ability to bridge gaps all the way up there to the Pacific Northwest in the Emerald City, and he's become a partial owner along with Seattle-based rapper who I've never heard him rap a single song in my life, whoever this cat is, to become partial contributors and owners to the Seattle Kraken. Now, knowing Marshawn, he's probably got plenty of good quote and copy out there, but I'm not going to go into that. But what I will go into is the hit list. Jackson Mahomes, Roger Goodell, Jerry Jones, Daniel Snyder, Jim Rome, Mike Wilbon, Jason Whitlock, Insurrectionists. See y'all at the draft next week. I'm bringing my son Gavin. Get down with the RFL crew. It's going to be a celebration, baby. Root.
Let's go. Nice job, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Appreciate you and look forward to seeing you next week, my friend. And so a couple of things. I love Aaron when he calls out his draft pick. So we've been around Aaron enough live during the draft and certainly at a distance.
I had to walk him, talk him off a ledge right after this one.
E to the R to the R to the E to the L to the L.
And that's a lot of man to talk off that ledge.
Oh, I know, right? And so it's funny. So like Josh Allen was the guy we were all kind of expecting, and Josh Allen has gone on to a pretty nice little NFL career.
Yep.
And Cleveland Farrell has not. So, but also too, I love how he highlights that Marshawn and Macklemore are now part of the ownership of the NHL team, the Seattle Kraken,
right?
Kraken, yep. And talk about the vid, because as soon as we heard that, you brought it up about what Marshawn was doing.
He was on a Zamboni going nuts. It was awesome.
It was so freaking funny.
So here's my thing is, okay, so Marshawn, I get it. Great player, arguably probably Hall of Fame material.
I think so.
But good contracts throughout his career. Macklemore, do they got hockey team buying money?
So Macklemore. So listen. I'm
with Q. I can't name a Macklemore song.
You would if you heard it. Like he's
really?
He's one of those guys. Yeah. Yeah, if you heard him, and the only reason I know Macklemore is because, so those of you that don't know, we're from California. That's why we're Raiders fans, or one of the reasons why you don't have to be from California to be a Raiders fan. But anyways, we brought our fandom with us.
Right.
We relocated to Middle Tennessee. We have a big music festival here called Bonnaroo.
Right, exactly.
It happens every year. Macklemore headlined Bonnaroo. And so when and I was like, oh, and so I watched. I wasn't at the show, but I watched
on the YouTubes.
Yes, and I was like, oh, that guy. I'm like, oh, I know that song.
Okay,
Anyway, yeah.
So he could end up having.
Oh, it was a big deal.
Franchise money.
It is a big deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyways, but so pretty cool there though for him, and he's a huge Seattle guy, and is a big whatever rep Seattle and Mariners and Seahawks and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
So good for him. Whatever. But good for Marshawn, though, most importantly.
Yeah, because he got to ride a Zanaboni, man.
So, like, for those of you that remember when Marshawn was at Cal, like, one of the famous videos of him when he was at Cal was taking, like, the ambulance cart onto the field.
Right,
and he's freaking rocking out doing his whole Marshawn thing. He's basically doing that on a Zamboni, though, on the ice at the Kraken practice facility. It's amazing. But anyway, so appreciate you, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider. Again, I apologize. You should never be third. You should always be number one on this show.
Nope. And you are in our
absolutely. That is my fault. But anyway, so ask your forgiveness on that. And next up, let's get to our good friend. So to go from Seattle, not that far north, to northern Alaska. As far as the lower 48 go.
It's just got that little French light country to get through.
Was that British Columbia?
Whatever. I don't like them.
All right, let's check in with our buddy who calls himself the northernmost Raider fan and a wrestling aficionado and wrestling chronicler.
Chronicler.
Is it a chronicler?
Chronicler.
Okay. If it's not, we just
wasn't that a San Francisco paper? It was blue for all my people back that remember.
Was it?
Yeah, for
the Chronicle was blue.
The chat room. Those of you that grew up in the Bay Area and used to read the San Francisco Chronicle, it was on blue paper.
No kidding.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, wow.
I was probably the only one. I don't know why, but it was a bluish green paper. Yeah. Because you're colorblind. We'd argue. You'd say no, it's green. No, it's blue.
I don't know, man. And I only ever read the Merc anyways.
Yeah. But it was a greenish blue paper. People will remember that. People in the chat.
Nice.
Remember the Chronicle. They remember that.
All right, let's check in with our buddy, the northernmost Raider fan. He's our buddy, our chronicler of the RFR Wrestling League, and he is Macho Man Raider Savage and his sidekick Kill Jadis.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and start clapping in the chat, and in real life, your RFR World Heavyweight Champion, Macho Man Raider Savage. I am the cream. And as you all know, the cream rises to the top. Yeah. Much like with our draft picks this year. They ain't gonna be first rounders or second rounders. No, they're not. They're gonna be mid and late rounders, which means they'll be in the bottom of the mug with all the coffee pushing it down to the bottom. Yeah. But the cream rises to the top, but the cream rises to the top. And that's what our draft picks need to be, is the cream. Because the Raiders are the cream. The Raiderettes are the cream. And Raider Nation is the cream. The cream of the crop, yeah. And the Raider Nation is always going to have your back. They are indeed. I just want to thank Murf, Mosh, and especially Swaggy Jeff.
Almost forgot
coming
him.
to help a brother out. Yeah. Swaggy didn't have to help me out. He was already bruised up, from the handicapped chair match against the Mingos twins before. But he came out anyways. Murf, Mosh, Swaggy Jeff, thank you. And I also want to thank Schmucky the Raider Bear for his support. What does Schmucky do? Unbeknownst to Dr. Patrick, I had an ace up my sleeves. While WrestleMania was going on, I had Schmucky flown up, and Schmucky broke into Dr. Patrick's office, destroyed all the evidence, and even hacked into Dr. Patrick's computer and deleted all the evidence in his computer network and cloud. Yeah. How do you do that? Well, he's smarter than the average bear, I guess. Well, nice plan. And I deserve a reward, Kiltitas. Can I please have just one more Slim Jim? Okay, yes.
That's what I
can
say.
have just one Slim Jim. After all, kids, everything must be done in moderation, except for being a Raider fan. Ooh, yeah.
All right, nicely done, Chill Jets. All Nicely done. I love the we were so amped up for so many weeks now, and now to hear them both kind of like bring it down after the finale of the RFR WrestleMania.
They got to rest. You got to rest. So, anyways, appreciate you, Kill Jada. Sorry, we got a couple more to get to, and then we're going to give away these last couple items. So, if you want to get those final donations in, please do every $10 donation, and we will enter a chip in to be drawn to get a chance to win the autographed Marcel Reese cleat or the Charles Woodson autographed bottle of Intercept wine. So as I said, 2 more to get to. And first, let's check in with our buddy. We call him the Houstorian. He's our good friend down in Houston. He is Houston Raiders Steve.
Murf, Mosh, Swag Jeff Nation, Houston Raider Steve. Oakland Raider memories. Going to McGee's over in Alameda with Crusader Raider because that's where Freddie Bolitnikoff used to go. Going to the Oakland hotel bar to see Greg Papa and Raider Nation. See Ted Hendricks out there. My other Raider memories, being lucky to be on the field for the pregame flag ceremony, taking the train down from Fairfield at 7 o'clock, leaving at 7 o'clock in the morning with my friend Marie so we could be there for 8 o'clock. The tailgates, they were epic. La Familia, Bad Boys at Barbecue, Knights of the Shield, Black Hole, all the great tailgates out there. It's the family, the nation. Just being able to be out there for Oakland. Monday night memories. Hanging out with Grizz Jones the night before at the 66th Street out there tailgating, playing music, and him telling us about the stories with our friend Jim Otto, having a shot with him. Man, all the great memories. All I can say is I love Oakland. It's always going to be Oakland to me. What happened in Vegas started in Oakland. God bless. Goodbye.
Nicely done, Houston Raiders, Steve. Appreciate you. And so, hey, Mosh, I've got something for you real quick. I'm going to take a little bit of an interlude before we play our last call. Someone in the chat had mentioned the Mother's Day tradition, and being that we're not going to have a show next week, so we can't highlight it then, but we will probably when we come back. But not to be forgotten, the always amazing second day pick that happened. Willie Brown started the tradition, and then it went on to Charles Woodson. We're going to hope to see Charles Woodson down there at the draft and announce it maybe in the third round when the Raiders have a pick, or if they move back up, maybe we'll get it. But anyways, the amazing tradition of Willie Brown celebrating all the mothers out there. And so I'm going to play a little sound clip before we get to our last call. And for those of you that aren't familiar, Willie Brown started this back in 2014. So we're coming up on 10 years ago that not only Willie Brown announced the Raiders pick, but also celebrated all the mothers and let you know to remember, do something nice for your mom on Mother's Day.
To announce the Oakland Raiders selection, please welcome from Grambling State University, an undrafted free agent in 1963, Hall of Fame cornerback Willie Brown.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me, before I announce the pick, let me just say congratulations and to all the moms, happy Mother's Day to all of you moms throughout the world. My mom, she's 99 years old, so hopefully she can make it to October. She'll be 100 years old. So all you mom, thanks. With the 36th pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the mighty Oakland Raiders.
Come on.
Select. Yeah, I know you love us. Derek Carr, quarterback.
How about that?
State.
Oh, there you go. As expected, the Raiders have selected Derek Carr from.
How about that? The first time that Willie Brown announces his Mother's Day pick, and it's Derek Carr, man. That's legit, man. And that if there's never was a doubt that Willie Brown was the ultimate legend and frankly the ultimate Raider ambassador, like
Absolutely.
Up to the day he passed, man. Just Willie Brown, absolute the best.
Did his mom make 100?
I think so. I
that's
feel like,
awesome, man.
and we've played all these, and shame on me, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I believe she made one more.
Nice.
But then at one point he announced that she passed and whatever, and so it's very sweet. And and we'll do it when we come back. We'll chronicle the whole thing, because it's awesome. And then Charles Woodson picks up the mantle and carries on the tradition. I got to hear when we were in Nashville.
Right,
I took my boys to the draft for the second day, and there was the Trayvon Mullen pick, and Charles Woodson came out and announced celebrate Mother's Day. It was amazing, man. So very, very cool tradition there. And thank you for whoever that was in the chat. I apologize. I have trouble keeping keeping up with the chat. Whoever it was that brought that up, that's an amazing call out there. And we want to always celebrate the absolute Raider legend, Willie Brown. All right.
Before you get
Please,
off of Willie Brown.
Do it.
So Q-Dog writes, old man Willie deserved to wear the number 24 jersey, not Abram. Can I just say that I don't have Raider tattoos. I like the Raiders. I love football. I love sports. I love doing what we do. We have so much fun. Not saying I wouldn't get a tattoo, but
you've got tattoos.
I got tattoos. I just don't have Raider tattoos,
yes.
Right? So it breaks my heart about Abram. And I don't get all, fan. I did with LaMonica, fanboyed there a little bit. But, we've
childhood stuff, though.
We've met greats, but I really, I haven't really gone in on it, but
do it, Mosh.
It breaks my heart that guy could possibly have played his last game as a Raider. If there's it's too bad. We loved him. We loved him in Hard Knocks.
Yes.
Oh my God, we all fell in love with this guy, right? Then he has that horrible accident, or the injury on Monday night. Gone for the year, comes back. He's absolutely been a disappointment. And you hate to see it's almost like when you meet your hero, and your hero's a jackass. I always remember
Willie Mays.
my Willie Mays. I was going to say
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
But you're right. My brother, who was responsible for our fandom, was the ultimate Mays fan. And when he met Willie Mays blew him off. He was just rude and mean, and that's just other people have said that, talked about their heroes. And Abrams wasn't a hero of mine, but I was really pulling for the kid. I just liked him. I think he embodied what we needed at the time. And, just everything, and just to the fact that he could possibly be done as a Raider just kind of breaks my heart, man. I don't want to see him play someplace else, but, somebody will pick him up. I just hate it, and I agree with Capo, that he, at one time we thought the perfect selection for that number, wear it proud, bro. But it's too bad. It's too bad.
He harkens to another time. Like, he embodies not only on the field what it is to be a Raider, but off the field as well. He's gregarious, that big personality. He's funny, like that hard-hitting spirit that he has. When you watch, right. He's got some amazing plays, but he also has some really bad plays.
He gets beat on simple stuff, and I don't know if.
But then you see him come and blow somebody up at the line of scrimmage, and you're like, it's like,
and so I don't know what their plan for him is. I would love to see this. I'd love to see Zigzag get him and rework him and keep him and develop those skills.
Well, Graham, I think, as our new defensive coordinator, I think he's the kind of guy that can maybe get. He's going to have one more shot. I don't think he's played his last snap. I think it's questionable if they're going to pick up his option, but I think we're going to see him play some more snaps.
Well, he's got to make it through. He's got to make it through preseason, though.
Well,
Josh.
I agree. But if they have Harmon and then you have Merrick playing on the back end, and when you play nickel or you play whatever, and you get Abram down low, and to where I think he could play at the line of scrimmage, I think he can be productive still.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so too, man, because I'm really rooting for the guy. He's like, at one point I was doing a guest spot on someone's podcast. They're like, who's your favorite Raider right now? And I'm like, Jonathan Abram. And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, because he's a Raider. Like, you take, and I know, and I'm just a sucker for the mystique and the concept of the Raiders. And I think that he embodies it so well. Yes, I know that people like Renfro and Waller and like pound for pound, they're like better players. But like, when I think of what embodies the spirit of the Raiders right now, it's Abram, it's Incognito, and I know that like those guys aren't even having like success on the field. But like when you think about like what's the spirit of a Raider, those are the kind of guys I think of. I don't think of, like Colton Miller. And that's not a shot at Colton Miller. Colton Miller's great, but he's not like Art Shell. You know what I'm saying?
Or even Derek Carr.
Amen.
But so why couldn't they take Abram and move him? Why couldn't he be a linebacker? if he's bigger than Phil Villapiano was.
Well, that's true.
You know?
Yeah,
I mean, and he hits like a freaking linebacker.
Well, that's what they did with Vine Diablo. He was one of those in-between kind of guys.
Yeah.
Ended up playing middle linebacker towards the end of the season and had a lot of success. So could you get a guy like Abram to bulk up and play more down low? I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
I don't know. But I think that there's, not to necessarily be a quote linebacker, but I think there's a world where you could take a guy like that and he plays that more like hybrid type position. And there's a lot of players in the NFL that are like that play that like hybrid type role. And I think that Abram could be that guy. I mean, look, I don't know. Because listen, you can't give up touchdowns to backup wide receivers in the end zone against the Chiefs. You can't do that, John
His
Abram.
blowing coverages have cost us so many yards, so many touchdowns, so many games, but if he wasn't in that, of course, who would have replaced him?
Well, that's the other thing, too.
Who did we have to step into those shoes?
You didn't have Daron Harmon last year.
No. So, maybe they're seeing that. I don't know. I'd like to be the fly on the wall in the coach's room when it comes to looking at that.
Because the raw talent is there, man.
Oh, my gosh.
And the spirit of the guy and everything. Like, I'm with you. Great call out, Mosh. That's a good conversation. It's hard for me to keep up with the chat during the show, but I look forward to going back and reading what the chat room has to say. And, man, I'm freaking Team Abram until he's not, man. I'm going to have faith in the young man and look forward to seeing him have a good career, and hopefully it's with the silver and black. All right, one more to get to. Let's go into the Raider Karaoke Kid, and then we'll close it out, and we'll award a Sizzler. You want to do the Sizzler first, or you want to do the giveaway first, Mosh? What are you thinking?
We'll do Sizzler, and then we'll do the giveaway.
All right, we'll award the best call or email of the night, the Sizzler Award. That is the best of the best. And but last up, let's hear from our friend, the Raider Karaoke Kid.
Folks,
this is the Raider Karaoke Kid asking a question. Are you ready for the draft? I remember long ago.
Oh my gosh.
Pandemic took away the glow from the depths of Rogers' basement. At the time in Cleveland town, it's come to us, it's going down. We know it's such a better placement. I want to know, are you ready for the draft?
Oh my gosh.
I want to know, are you ready for the draft? Going down in Vegas town. Yesterday and days before, our first round picks would hit the floor. And now, we traded for Devontae. Now the talk from every place.
Oh my gosh.
About the West, the new arms race. Over. Wish it could be their day. I want to know, are you ready for the draft?
Oh my gosh.
I want to know, are you ready for the draft? Going down in Vegas town. I want to know, are you ready for the draft? I want to know, are you ready for the draft? Going down in Vegas town. This has been the Raider Karaoke Kid, wishing you all safe week passage, Murf and Jeff, and happy draft to all.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Nice job, Raider Karaoke
so funny.
Kid. So funny. You know what I love? It's all about the commitment, Mosh.
It's all about the commitment. The whole song.
The whole
Yeah, all the extended play version, all 4.5 hours of it.
We appreciate you, man. I wish I had my voice of an angel soundbite handy. I was looking for it, man. I couldn't come up with it quick enough. But anyways, appreciate you, Raider Karaoke Kid. And it's like it's kind of
wait. Tada says, imagine me trying to explain this to my wife. She's like, why are you listening to that crap? He's so funny.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, so appreciate you, Raider Karaoke Kid. And it's like Andy Kaufman humor. You just got to write it out.
You just got to.
You got to write out. It starts off. You go like, "What is this?" And then it gets funny, and then it gets uncomfortable, and then it gets funny at the end.
Yeah,
like that's the Andy Kaufman.
Here I come to save the day. Some of you know what that is.
Yeah, YouTube it.
Yeah,
it'll be worth it. Yeah.
Started off our voicemails like we should have, but we'll talk about them. Capo came in, had a great voicemail.
Shame on me.
Had some really good things to think about. Cody Thompson, great call, gave us a little bit of breakdown on who he was and what he's all about. Sergeant Joe Friday, great shot, so funny, so many
that was good
witty things that he said about Miss Libby. I love the feeling like a fettered dumpster, just hilarious, so much. Macho Man is the cream of the crop. Houston Raider Steve with some great Oakland flashbacks. Did you really hang out with Grace Slick? Raider Karaoke Kid with his draft song, and Fargo Raider in Under the Gun. I'm just throwing this out there with another. He really wants to win tonight with another chip in the bucket.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much.
Tonight's Sizzler goes to Sergeant Joe Friday.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
Sizzler.
Sizzler. Sizzler.
All right. Appreciate you, Sergeant Joe Friday, and congratulations on being the newest Sizzler Award winner here at Raiders Fan Radio. Uncle Mosh is doing the final tallies, and then, of course, he will take us to the Rogues Gallery, and we will close out this show as Uncle Mosh will draw the winners.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
I told Uncle Mosh this was going to be a 90-minute show before we started tonight.
What? How long?
That is the voice of an angel.
Oh,
I can't even make
you.
eye contact with you right now. Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus. You're good. I know.
All right, Uncle Mosh, let's give some stuff away.
All right. So you want the lowdown there?
Yeah, let's get the lowdown. How many we got? A couple final donations in there.
We
Fargo
did.
Raider with a $9.99. He said, "Hell yeah, taking a sip of shine to that." Crew Joe with a $9.99 as well, with one of the stickers in there. We appreciate you all very, very much. So yeah, what do we got? Give us the skinny. Give us the totals. How much do we raise? All that good stuff, Mosh.
I'm doing math.
Okay, you want me to talk over the math?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we don't do number. Wait, we don't do math, but we love numbers. So this might take a minute.
Oh my God, you're killing me right now. Over $300.
Hey, let's go! Nicely done, nicely done. Thank you very, very much, Sharon. And I know I can't look because I can't sign in on this computer. I know we had direct donations to the One Nation Foundation via PayPal.
Yep.
And we had direct donations go to the GoFundMe. So I'm willing to bet we are well over $500 in total contribution to Josh Russell and his effort to get a new ride. So well done, Raider Nation.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm doing Swaggy's job on this.
You're
and
doing
my
100
job.
jobs over there, yeah.
So yes, you did. I did get you written down. You are number 15, Schmucky. I got you in there.
This is awesome.
Okay,
All right, so we're doing the cleat or the bottle of wine first?
We are going to do the bottle. Let's do the bottle of wine.
All right, this
Fruit
is
of the vine.
Autographed bottle of wine. This is a Cabernet Sauvignon from Intercept Wines. And am I picking?
So no, I'm just showing what's in there. So
are you picking? Do I hold the bucket? You pick?
No, I'll hold the bucket. You pick.
Okay.
So in there are the numbers. For instance, this one right here is a number 9, and then I have number 9.
Number 9.
And then I have the sheet where everybody's at.
Okay.
And so I'm giving them a good mixy mix.
A good mix.
Oops, I just dropped.
Oh my God. Let's kill Jadis's one chip gang right there. Yeah.
That one college kid who has to eat ramen for the next week.
All right, let's keep it on camera. Okay, here we go. So I can't
right.
I can't see for those of you that don't are on the audio podcast. Let's see. I can't see from
So
here.
Murph's reaching into the bucket. This is for the Intercept bottle of wine.
All right, and okay, all right, got it right there.
Got it?
Yep.
All right.
All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna go to my camera.
You tell me, go to your camera, show it to your camera.
All right.
He's holding it up. Make sure that's the side with the number on it.
Okay, there it is. I see it. Okay, here we go. So it is number 7.
Number 7.
Number 7 is
Foxy.
Hey, Foxy Scorpio! Congratulations! Oh, that's awesome. So that is for the Intercept bottle of wine. Showed up on the camera there, Mosh.
So that's the signed Charles Woodson.
There we go. Perfect.
Intercept bottle of wine.
And I have the packaging right here.
So Murph's camera right over there. He's showing that the package is going. So Foxy, congratulations! It's going in the box. What you'll need to do is you'll need to email Murf
at show.
Show.
How many times have you said on this?
8,000.
Show at RaidersFanRadio.com.
Show at RaidersFanRadio.com.
Yes. Show at
and give him your
RaidersFanRadio.com.
address. Okay.
And there you go.
Corey Burham, with a new person with a $10 donation, got in under the wire.
Get him under the wire.
Is in here. Let me grab your number really quick.
Okay, we're going to get you in there. Corey, we appreciate that $10 donation. So this last drawing it will be for an autographed Marcel Reese cleat, which Uncle Mosh will abruptly do a shoey out of. So, and for those of you that don't know, and we are learning tonight, a shoey is where you pour a beer. Trinidad said to take the insert out of the shoe when you do the shoey. So that,
all right.
Yeah, like I don't know if that's like you know what, this doesn't come out, Trent. Like it's the insert is in there, so Uncle Mosh will just pour his beer in there.
I'll do it in yours, and we'll send them the one that's
the one that you've been
in.
showing. Okay, so here's mine.
Yeah, so
there
this is Murph. So
all right,
I pour beer in here and I just chug it.
Yeah, we'll just hold it like flat, and then you pour the beer in and then drink it out. Like you know what I mean?
This is
like don't hold it up because it'll just pour out of the.
This is like the 5th grossest thing I've ever done.
So yeah, just like hold it flat.
All right, using my Drecker Brewing Company.
Yeah, there you go.
Koozie.
Okay.
Opening my Coors Light.
Yeah, don't feel like you had to pour the whole thing in there or nothing.
No,
just,
I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna pour some.
So hold it up high though, so we can see it on the camera. All right, there we go. All right. So there you go. So there you can see it. All right, pour it. There you go. Yep. Mosh is pouring the beer in. There you go. All right.
I want to get it. I don't want the leak on my keyboard.
No, don't let it leak on your keyboard. All right. 1, 2, 3. Shooey! Yeah, Mosh is waterfalling it. Let's go. Nicely done, Uncle Mosh. Yes. I love it. There you go. There's the shoey. And that's my shoey. I'm going to proudly display that. So not only does this now have sentimental value because it is signed by the legendary Marcel Reese, but is now had Coors Light drank out of it by the legendary Uncle Mosh. So now we got all kinds of double meaning going on over here.
I got beer on my shirt and I got to drive home.
Oh my gosh. Tyler Raider says, I am happy and disgusted. Schmucky the Raider Bear says, I got my money's worth right there. Big Bass Raider says, got every last drop, Mosh. Big Easy says there's a legend. Lee B with the laughing faces. Oh my gosh. Foxy Scorpio. Woohoo, let's go.
I'll do what I have to do to raise money for this guy's ride. And if it means doing one a week, I'm in.
Hey, Michelle Sweat says, Mosh said anything for the nation. Foxy Scorpio says Mosh rules. This one. Aaron the Q-Dog Raider says hashtag 5th grossest.
Right,
that's
Murph.
so fantastic. All right, one more time. Let's go.
Here we go.
All right. Can't see it there. There's the chips. All right, got it. All right.
And that is for my camera's still on. That's
for the clean shoe.
This is the clean shoe without the shoeing.
Did it taste like anything other than Coors Light?
No, it was good as hell. I'm ready to do it again.
All right, here we go. So here's the other chip, and it is chip number 4. What do we got there for number 4, Mosh?
Oh, Crujo!
Hey, Crujo! Nicely done.
Crujo! And he came in, and that's the chip where he came in at the last minute, because I wrote that 4 on there. These other ones were factory 4s. And so,
nicely done. All
well
right.
done, Crujo. So, congratulations to Crujo. Congratulations to Foxy. You guys are our big winners tonight. We're going to keep going. We're having fun with this. We're going to keep going on this. We've got some more things to auction off. We're going to get this guy in a sharp ride. And next time we meet, we're going to be auctioning off Murf.
Oh, look at that. I got an autographed mini helmet there from Ronnie Lott, of course, Hall of Famer. That will be very cool. We're going to give you that. I got a bunch of other stuff, too. We're going to get some more autograph stuff in, too, but we got that. Look at this. I got this towel from the last game that we got at Allegiant Stadium when the Raiders knocked off the Chargers to make their playoff appearance. We got lots
There
and lots
are
of cool
tears
stuff.
of joy from a lot of us on that towel. Me, Michelle,
that thing, like
Capo, Lamont. We were all just.
This thing got carried around from the top of Allegiant Stadium with our good buddy Trin and his crew, all the way down to Gil's tailgate post game and carried around with us. And so we grabbed a couple of these, and so we're going to give one of these away. And look at it, it's got the hologram on it and everything, man. You know it's legit. And so good stuff there. And appreciate all of the amazing donations tonight. Thank you for all the donations directly via the super chats. Thank you to the donations to the RaidersFanRadio.com website. Go to RaidersFanRadio.com. It was a long show, all right. Click the One Nation Foundation link and donate there, or give directly to Josh's website via GoFundMe, and you can find that on our socials and also there in the chat room links. Missed our good friend, my best friend and yours, Swag Jeff, tonight. But Uncle Mosh, thank you so much for being here. You pulled like triple duty tonight, Mom.
Man, it was so much fun.
Nicely done. Thank you so much for being here.
It was like old school.
It was old school.
It was old school. We had a good time. We like to do that. We like to go old school once in a while and have fun.
Absolutely.
So you guys be safe in Vegas. Everybody, you can, if they get arrested, call me. I can wire you money. Let's get him out of the jail.
You got a guy?
I do got a guy. And y'all have fun down there. Don't forget, if you see your girl, Paul wants a picture.
Oh, MJ?
Man, what a great night. So everybody, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll get a full rundown. Capo, you and your son have a good time. And everybody get out there and cheer little Swaggy J on as he plays in the Content Creators Flag Football game on.
And we'll have tons of content coming, too.
Tons of content
Not
coming,
RFR proper, but we'll have a lot of stuff on the audio and the video feed.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, listening. For our buddy Swaggy, who's at home doing daddy duty, you got your old Uncle Mosh and my little favorite nephew, Murf. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't worry about the horse being blind. Just load the wagon. Remember, what happens in Vegas started in Oakland, despite Libby. Speaking of Libby, adios, malingerer. Good night, everybody. God bless. Be safe.
Good night, YouTube.